I hope you guys are excited too. God bless you all. Let's go. Ismail, do one more text round. Yeah, you should aim for like 150, 200 people live, yeah? Okay, hello. What's up, you guys? Mike, if you can be in charge of just letting everyone in.
Yeah.
And just text Ronald to grab on.
Ismail, did you join?
Mikey, check the iPad, please. And ensure the iPad is connected. What's up, you guys? Hey, are we live or not?
Yeah.
Don't go. You're live already?
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
live.
Oh, I'm live. Oh my God. Okay. What's up? What's up, people? How are you, Winston? Okay. So we were gonna wait 5 or 10 minutes. My gosh, Paul Lundberg. Hello, Paul. Hello, Sir Paul. Is that Paul?
Hey, Shaqir.
Sometimes with my glasses, I can't even see. How are you? It's been a
It's
long
me.
time.
I'm fantastic. You?
Doing very well. So good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Glenda, what's up?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon on a very chilly day in Toronto.
Nice. Well, it is nice and sunny here. So I'm gonna get cracking on in just a minute or two. Okay. Okay, so before as we get started, I'm just gonna ask maybe one or two of you to share your big breakthroughs from yesterday. So we'll start off with who wants to go first and share one big breakthrough over the last 2 days? Let's go. Hey, Abid, great to see you here. Okay. Can you unmute them or do I have to do it?
No,
Okay, today I removed all the fancy equipment, all the fancy lights, the camera, the simple webcam. That's how we're gonna run this thing. Okay. So sometimes when you get too fancy, what happens is it just introduces unnecessary complications. How many of you agree with this? Okay, this is how in my 20s when I started making money, millions of dollars, and then I would meet people at events and they will talk to me about so many different things in terms of chatbots and this automation and that funnel. And sometimes I would look at them and I'd be like, I understand what they're saying because I do understand the technical stuff. But in my mind, I'm like, do I really need all of that stuff? And then I would ask, how much revenue or money or profits is your business making? And I'd be very shocked. And it's the same thing, like this challenge that we're doing. By the way, how many of you guys are enjoying this challenge so far? Okay, yeah, this is our 15th challenge. 15th challenge. So all 15 challenges that we've done, it's been one simple concept. I'll tell you what the concept has been. It's been, I don't know if you guys can see, it's been a little camera, which is I'm holding in my hand, and just me in front of my bookshelf or whatever. 2 days ago, we started adding in this other fancy camera, this big massive TV, and let's just say it's caused unnecessary headache, unnecessary stress. From 200 people, the first day we had so many people go off Zoom. So I said to my team, do we really need to make things complicated? They said, no. I said, I don't need no fancy stuff. if I'm in front of a group of people, I can deliver a message that matters. Okay, write that down. A message that matters. If I can deliver a message that matters, then I will have them be enrolled in having conviction that this will work for them. Is this making sense to everyone? Just, yeah. So I will say this, and this is something I learned from my mentors, which is simplify to multiply. Okay, so every single time, it doesn't matter how much money you make. Some of you are just starting off. You're trying to quit your job. You're trying to make some money. Some of you are here. I see some of my millionaire students here. What's up? What's up, guys? Thanks for joining in. And they're always coming in to learn and to join. So I appreciate you guys. It doesn't matter how much money you're making. When you feel stuck, just ask yourself, what can I do to just simplify? Because if you can simplify things, then it will reduce the overwhelm inside of your head. If you can reduce that overwhelm, then what will happen is you're going to get more clarity. Does that make sense? And what happens is when you have clarity, you can take lots of action. I shared the story of how I lost 28 pounds going to the gym. But remember, I also shared with you for 10 years I've been going to the gym, but nothing happened. It's only when a trainer, I had a personal trainer, and the personal trainer said to me, when you come to the gym, just focus on one thing. How many things? Just one. So same way, when you want to make money, just focus on maybe one thing, like generating clients, maybe focusing on your unique expertise, maybe focusing on your genius zone, instead of thinking to yourself, okay, I've got 10 things to do. I need to focus on all 10 things. And I want to share with you just maybe 2 stories. Let's just pull up who's here. Hey, Emon. Assalamu alaikum. All right, great to see you. Let's pull Emon here. Okay, because Emon joined this 5-day challenge. And actually, you know what, Emon, I'm not going to even say anything because you can talk, so fire away. Just give us some feedback. You're part of our Funnels Accelerator, my Inner Circle Mastermind. Mike, if you can unmute Emon.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going, Shaq? Hope all is well. What's up, guys? So about, I want to say 7, 8, maybe 8.5 months ago, I saw an ad on Facebook, and it was Shaq speaking about sales funnels. And at the time, I kind of had a little bit of idea what sales funnels were, but like not a whole big idea. But he explained what funnels were and how funnels could potentially help me make a lot of money using my existing knowledge that I already had. So coming into like the ad I saw, my prior background was in finance and I was in e-commerce, bunch of stuff trying to make money. And then I was already interested in funnels. I just didn't know like what it entails. So I saw his ad and like it just kind of like how you guys are in this 5-day challenge right now. I clicked on the ad and I opted in and joined this 5-day challenge. And it was like, 5 days of amazing action-packed value. And it was just, I'm like, this guy knows what he's talking about. I was trying to learn funnels and I just didn't know where to start. I'm like, this is the guy that I need to listen to and kind of talk to. And I literally reached out and I think we had 1 or 2 conversations. I ended up joining his mastermind Inner Circle and joining his program. And, I went from making literally, I think like 5 to 10K a month with my previous mentors or previous programs that I joined to making my first 50K a month, first 100K a month. Right now, I am on track to doing, we're trying to hit about $1 million a month. So from going from 0 to making 50K a month, 100K a month, and then slowly scaling up. And it's all due to Shaqir and his program, his mentorship. His course, along with the coaching sessions on a weekly basis, were just phenomenal.
Did we just lose internet? No, it's not. Okay.
Very hands-on, and then he introduced him to some of the other individuals, some of the 7-8 figure earners in the kind of ClickFunnels community, and it was just very unique. Like I'm like, this guy knows Russell Brunson personally. He's over 100, close to $1 billion actually in revenue. He knows all these other people who are basically high performers, and doing crazy amount of development. He knew them on like the individual name basis, and he connected me with all these amazing individuals. He also got me an opportunity to hang out with Grant Cardone. I'm sure you guys know who Grant Cardone is. If you haven't seen Grant Cardone, I don't know if you guys have been hiding in Iraq, but I mean, it's this guy. I mean, you go on Facebook or any social media platform, the guy is one of the biggest real estate gurus in the world, and he hooked me up with his private mastermind. Started Grant Cardone, his event in San Diego, California, and then we got to go on a jock party with Grant Cardone and tons of other amazing entrepreneurs. 7, 8, 9-figure entrepreneurs, and it was all through me joining the inner circle and joining his program, and then going from zero to knowing nothing about funnels to developing a friendship with him to hang out with Grant Cardone. I mean, how cool is that? You know what I mean? So like of all the programs I've joined in the past, I would say like Shaq is probably like the top of the top. The guys really knows what he's doing in terms of sales funnels. He knows how to take. You can come up with. You can have any background, any type of business, any type of knowledge. He knows how to take that knowledge and help you design a sales funnel and a whole program, a whole course, or like anything what you need from like A to Z, and set it up in a way where it's kind of automated and it's making you money day after day, week after week, month after month. And I can't thank Shaq enough about this. I mean, he's like one of my lifelong friends now, and his programs, being in his inner circle, is one of the best decisions I've made.
I appreciate it, Iman. I appreciate it. It's funny because Iman joined a challenge like this for 5 days, and then he books a 15-minute call with one of my team members, right? And then when he joins the call, I don't know if you guys heard him say, I don't know if he said this, but he joins this 15-minute call and he goes, okay, just put me through to Shaqir Hussyin. And the guy's like saying, no, you got to buy one of our programs. Shaqir doesn't speak to anyone. He gets on the call with me and he goes, hey man, I've been around this, internet marketing stuff for a long time. And he goes, I just watched every single minute of your 5-day challenge. And he goes, and in the middle of the challenge, you just told everyone you need to pray and you just walk off. He goes, who does that, bro? And I said, well, I do that. Okay, God is more important. So I'm going to have to tell everyone to wait, and I have to go and do my thing because I have to go and pray, because I pray 5 times a day. So I have to go and pray. And he said to me, man, I've never seen anyone like that. And I don't do this to show or whatever. Okay, my relationship with God is my relationship with God. However, what I realized afterwards is, hey, it's okay to share your values. Does that make sense? Okay, like I will tell you guys very openly, hey, I am not the best at organization. My wife came in actually, and she just looked at my desk and she said, what is this? And I was like, wow, that is really messy. So is the other desk, and the other desk, and the other desk. There's like 5 desks, and it's crazy, but it is what it is. And I'm not pretending to be something I'm not. Is that okay with you guys? Okay, just like same thing, I tell you, don't ask me for health advice, because I've been fat and really overweight 10 years. It's only recently I've lost 28 pounds and I'm feeling strong. Okay, but I will not tell you what to eat and what not to eat. It took me 12 years to get to finally getting into shape. Are you guys with me so far? Same way, I've only been married, God, all praise to God, for about 5 years. I'm not going to go around giving marriage advice, okay? Because I don't feel like I have the expertise. But what I do have expertise is when I was 21 years old, I got started in internet marketing. By the time I was 23 years old, I made my first $1 million. And before I turned 30 years old, I made $30 million. And I made a lot of mistakes. And I've also learned a few things. And I've seen people, okay, this is what my expertise is to take someone, you can come to me and my team, not just me, and say, hey, this is my background. This is what I've done. This is what my strength and weakness is. And we can help you figure out which funnel is going to be right for you, which offer, and which promotional strategy. Does that make sense? So I'm going to introduce another one of my, well, now he's a friend, but he started off as a client. Is Akbar Sheikh here? I just saw his name pop up. And then he just said, I need to feed my kids or something. Yeah.
Present, yes.
Where is he? Put this guy on. Put this guy on.
Can you hear me, man?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, man. It was crazy what you said. I had such a flashback right now. I think you said something about, one second, darling. I'm just getting my kids ready. I'm in Sydney getting ready for school. But when you said earlier in this presentation, you said, you said that you don't need a lot of tech, you just need to deliver your message. And you said you told everybody to write that down. And it's such a flashback. So everybody, real quick, here's a story. Oh gosh, about if I'm in Sydney right now traveling, but if I was in my office in Dallas, I would show you the book I had. And the book I had, y'all probably taking notes on your on some of you taking on a notebook. That was me about 9 years ago, I think, Shaq, something like that. It must have been because I got married 8 years ago. So this was before I was married. I was an internet marketer who was not making any money. I was new to the industry, and it just wasn't working. And I saw this crazy guy, like, really colorful, really energetic dude in London, talking about marketing and like, oh, he's the best marketer ever. And this time, like, well, I don't know. I was just really attracted to his message, and the energy was great. I was like, man, I got to go learn from this guy. And so, like, I didn't even have money to go to London. I was living in San Francisco at the time. I got a Discover credit card. And the only reason I had a Discover credit card is because I went to a theme park and my shirt got wet. And this Discover credit card had a booth that will give you a free t-shirt if you sign up for our card. And I didn't have the money for a t-shirt. So I signed up for this free card. So I bought tickets to London. And I went to Shaq's event, which is basically like what you guys are going through now virtually. Back then, there kind of wasn't any, like, these challenges were not around back then. So I went to the in-person challenge about 9 years ago. And I sat there, and I'll never forget what Shaq said. He said, some of you guys, it was a 2-day event. I think this is a 5-day challenge, right? So that was a 2-day intensive event. He said, some of you guys are not gonna make it past day 1. You're gonna just be like, you're just gonna give up. Some of you guys are gonna say, this is nonsense, this doesn't work. Some of you guys are going to try a little bit and you're just going to give up. But some of you guys are going to take this information I give to you today, and you're going to make millions of dollars, and you're going to impact millions of people with it. And I felt like he was speaking directly to me. And I just smiled when he said that. And I said, you know what? Sitting there totally broke, wearing all red for some reason. I look at him and I'm like, you know what? That's going to be me. And I had this like smile from ear to ear. I said, that's going to be me. And you want to know something? I took all the information I learned from that challenge, and I did make millions of dollars, and I did impact millions of people. And we've been able to build countless water wells, countless community centers, sponsor countless orphans. We've helped from the stuff he taught me. Now I've helped my clients collectively make over $50 million, but it all came from what I learned from Shaq. Literally went into the top 0.01% from the stuff he taught me. So when he tells you to pay attention and write down the stuff, pay attention and write down the stuff. And I pray it's just up to you. If you implement what he tells you to do, I mean, the world's your oyster. And if you don't, then that's your unfortunate choice. But I can't thank Shaq enough for changing my life, and frankly, the lives of the millions of people that we've been able to help through his teachings. So thanks, brother.
Yeah, you're welcome, bro. I appreciate it very much. Guys, give him a big round of applause. And I'm just gonna, if you need to go feed your kids, go feed them. And I'll see you soon in London. So just like what he said, what's crazy is that sometimes these things happen. And the other day, I don't really check Facebook much often, but I get on Facebook and I see this, and it just made me this huge smile, right? So he basically goes, here's how basically 2014, this was nearly 10 years ago, guys. Okay, just like the story he's just said, look, dressed in red pants and a red shirt, he comes to London. And I remember him. This was 9 years ago. Okay, 9 years ago. This is him. This is how I looked like back in the day. I don't know what was going on with my fashion sense, but anyway. And I had just made, I don't know, maybe my first few $1 million, and I had invited Mike Dillard and a handful of really good people from all over the world to come in. And Akbar came to one of those events. This is Akbar. He colored his eyes, I guess, here. And this, I think maybe a few weeks ago, just last month, I found out he's actually coming to London. Okay, get this, guys. He's coming to London to speak at an event. The event is $12,500. So I'm getting paid to come in as a keynote speaker for like an hour or two. Akbar is coming all the way from Sydney or Dallas, Texas, to come to speak at this event. Isn't this crazy, you guys? Right, so give him a big round of applause. And what was really funny, actually, Akbar, I don't know if you saw some of these comments. So I go and thank my friend Mike Dillard, right? Like at the time, he was like this big internet marketing guru. And he comes he was like the main keynote speaker. And then there was this guy here, Danny. He's doing very well for himself. Can you guys all see my screen? Yeah. Can they see when I'm scrolling down? Yeah. Okay. So there was this guy, Danny. No? Yes? Yeah, but I'm scrolling down here.
No, I don't think we can see.
Oh, you
scrolling.
can't see it.
They can't see it.
Nope.
I'm gonna try one more time. See if that works. Can you see that? You can see it?
You can see a chat that's on the screen.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So
Okay.
Akbar shares his story, and then a bunch of random guys who I haven't heard of for like literally like a decade. These guys, like this guy here, Dani Joshi, he's coming in, says, this one changed his life. This guy, young kid, I remember he must have been like 21 years old or something, pays £5,000, I think it was, and he attends the 2-day event. Where's that DVD case that I had? So remember yesterday I was telling you about one of my first ever events was this 2-day mastermind I did. It was $5,000 per person. This kid came along and now I'm seeing him and he's crushing it. This guy, I was also there, amazing event. So when I share, so many people have come in. You want to know what's really crazy? Check this out. This guy goes, I got value from all three of you. Heck, I went to college when Shaqs was selling UGG boots. Okay. Do you guys even know what UGG boots are? UGG boots are like these ladies' shoes. I don't know if guys wear them these days, but anyway, it's like this UGG. Basically, I'm sure you know what it is. Okay. He used to go to college with me, guys. And look what he says. I used to sell these UGG shoes. It's so crazy. So the reason why I share this is because sometimes, Akbar, if you need to go, jump off. Jazakallah khair for coming on. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Top man. See you soon. So the reason why I share this with you guys is sometimes when you're starting off online, there's so much conflicting information and you're like going through so many different rabbit holes, so to speak. How many of you ever feel like that? So when you feel like that, just remember the good part of that is the overwhelm can be a good thing because it puts you in a state of you're actually learning something because it's forcing you to grow. Does that make sense? So when you feel like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff. Trust me, I even feel it like right now with all this AI stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was just getting started and then AI stuff now kicks in. So I have a simple rule and I'll give you this rule, which is 20 hours to learn anything. Okay, so I always tell myself, there's a book called 20 Hours to Master Anything. Guys don't need to read the whole book because I give you the summary. The summary is whenever you want to learn something, just commit 20 hours and put 20 hours of full focus in it. And so for me, when I want to learn and master something, I find 20 hours to focus on. And I find usually 3 mentors. Okay, so some of you, I know you're in different coaching programs, you've come from different communities, and some of you have spoken to my team, and you're like, you bought all these programs, you're following this guru, that guru, and it's totally fine. Listen, I'm not the kind of guy that bashes. I don't believe in that energy exchange. I believe, we all have an abundance. And so when you're starting off, it could be very confusing, but give yourself the space to say, hey, you know what? If I have 1 mentor, 2 mentors, just like, I don't know if Munir is here, but Munir is my nutritionist coach. Just like when I started getting serious about my health, I realized, hey, I need to have, maybe a nutrition coach, a personal trainer, an online mastermind. Okay. And something I learned a long time ago from this friend, well, he's now my friend, but back then he used to be this guru dude on the internet. Name is Ibn Pagan. Anyone heard of Ibn? Anyone? Okay. Back then he used to like sell these internet marketing courses and stuff. And now he runs this mastermind. And I remember him talking about this concept called inevitability thinking. Okay, you want to write that down because every time I pronounce it, I get my tongue twisted. Okay, so inevitability thinking. All right, you guys got that? Okay, so you write that down and you ask yourself, hey, if you are here right now and you wanted to get to your goals, like yesterday we discovered most people, okay, 95% of people here, they want to make an extra $10,000 to $30,000 per month in profit. Correct, Ismail? Ismail, my right-hand man, is next to me. Okay, and what I was saying and what I was sharing was, if you want to get to 10K to 30K per month profit, instead of just asking yourself, hey, what steps do I need to take? Ask yourself this question. What systems do I need to put in place for the goal to become inevitable? Does that make sense? Okay, I shared with you the story. I used to have a bad addiction with chocolate and ice cream. My wife would go to sleep, I'd jump out of bed, I'd eat the ice cream, then I'd go back to sleep, you know, all sorts of crazy stuff. And the reason why I was sharing that was now I don't have ice cream in my house. I don't have chocolate except for like really dark, fancy chocolate. It's my wife, what my wife likes. Okay, I don't have unhealthy food in this house. So if I make it inevitable for me to reach my goal, would it be much easier to go there? Yes or no? So some of you, that's why I was talking about yesterday, having a mentorship, write this down, having a mentorship, being part of a mastermind, becoming a marketer, okay? Becoming a marketer. Today, I'm speaking to someone probably 3 hours before. And remember what I said, in today's world, with all the craziness that's going on, now you can have your own views, I'll have my own views. I'm not gonna say your views is right or wrong. I'm just gonna say, I wanna live in my own little bubble. How many of you wanna live in your own little bubble? Okay, me, my family, God, handful of clients. I don't want to get involved in some of the craziness that's happening in the world. How many of you look out in the world and you're like, dang, that stuff is crazy? Just be honest with me. Anyone? Okay, when I think of that and I tell my wife, she always says to me, you know what the solution is? We buy a big farm. Now, for you Americans out there, it's easy to buy a farm. You can get one for about $1 million. Where I live in London, in the UK, a farm is going to be around £5 or £6 million, which is maybe $8 million. Okay, so it's not cheap. So I always think to myself, how can I? Remember on day one, we said, how can I? When you shift the questions, you ask yourself, your perspective and your actions will change. So Ismail said to me, so many people want to work with us, and some of them are looking to raise the money, and some of them just aren't right. One of the things I'll always say is, always figure out, what can I do to go and raise the money? What can I do versus, oh, I can't do that. Do you see the two different mentalities? Okay, and I have to catch myself at this, you guys. Okay, I have to catch myself doing this as well. But once you develop these habits, it's almost like magic. Okay, I don't even like using that word magic, but it's almost like magic. It's like you can turn on a tap. You can turn on a tap to make money. Are you guys with me so far? I shared with you how my first $1 million was so hard. I was 21. By the time I was 23, I made $1 million. By the time I was 28 years old, I was doing $1 million a month. And then just recently, Russell Brunson, guy that owns ClickFunnels, paid me $1.3 million cash from one transaction. It cost me $5,000 to put together. I sold it to him for $1.3 million. It was my first $1 million day. In my mind, now I'm like, making $1 million is easy. Does that make sense? So what we have to do is we have to condition our mind. And in your mind, if you can't do something, maybe you can't get to your first 10 grand a month or 50K a month or 100K a month, then you need to be around people that it's easy for them. And the reason why I tell you marketing, especially the marketing stuff that we teach, okay, the marketing stuff that we teach, why is it super important? Give me 1 second, please, guys. You need to put it into the like canister and filter it out. Sorry, guys, it's not filtered water. One second, guys. Just need to hydrate myself. If you guys don't have some water, grab some water. Last few days, because I've been speaking for 4 or 5 hours a day, instead of the 90 minutes as promised, I have to make sure I am hydrated. Okay, so what I was sharing was the reason why you want to master marketing is it gives you an element of you can write your own paycheck for life. Okay, and sometimes maybe you've had success in the past in a different industry, in your career. I know some people here are mega successful. How many of you have had success in the past? And then when you're online, when you're coming in the internet marketing space, you're like, oh, something's going on. Anyone? And I'm like, I meet people and they're like, they've got multiple degrees. And I'm like, I have no degree whatsoever. I have no real education. And so I see people that are smart, that are hardworking, they've had success. They've worked in such hard jobs or hard careers. But when they come on the internet, something happens and then they just, a lot of the times they get stuck. And one of the biggest reasons is, and I'm going to tell you this, is when you're seeking perfection. Seek progress over perfection. When you do this, you are not always looking to make everything right. You're looking to get going. Just before this call, I was speaking to someone. Their business did $60 million. $60 million, right? And they basically asked me to come on as a fractional part-time CMO for a couple of hours a week for their business. And I negotiated a deal, which I'm just going to share with you guys, which was $30,000 cash up front for my time, because I'm going to spend a few hours. And then I said, I'm going to help you with a funnel, and I want to take 30% of the net profits of the business. And they basically just agreed. And the call went, it was supposed to be like one hour. I went for about 2.5 hours. But because I can do these deals, remember I shared with you guys yesterday, okay? You want to do the work once. Thanks, Mikey. You want to do the work once and you want to get paid forever. For example, this digital course, this was a $5,000, 5,000 pound, I think, event that I did 10 years ago. For the next 10 years, I sold this thing on the internet, right? So if I ask you today, if you do an inventory, your income today is directly reflected from the actions that you took 1 to 3 years ago. This 5-day challenge that you're in today, okay? One of my friends, a guy called Roland Frazier, okay? He used to own this company called Digital Marketer and Traffic and Conversion Summit. He taught me the power of doing challenges because I belong to a mastermind that my other friend, a guy called Evan Pagan, he hosts. Who's with me so far? Can you guys see where I'm going with this? Okay. So I'm in my own little la-la land. And one day, Roland Frazier comes into the mastermind and he basically shares how he's, this crazy funnel. It's a 5-day challenge. This thing is absolutely rocking. And he shares all the stats. And because he shares the entire campaign, I can now just copy and paste and profit. So what we want to always do is ask ourselves, who's already doing it and how can I model for the fastest ROI, for the fastest result? So in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys, let me just go over this. I shared with you the 5 funnels. And yesterday I talked about okay, I shared 5 funnels that have generated $20 million in 36 months. And I also shared with you guys that during these next few days, even starting today, we're going to open up enrollment for Ismail. How many people are we taking on for this this batch? 20? 12? Okay, 12. I think a handful of people, I haven't even offered anything, you guys, but a handful of people have already decided to join. They've paid. So, I mean, you guys spoke to my team and you decided to join. One, congratulations. I haven't even offered anything to everyone here, but I just want to give a big shout out to Leah Gamayon. Leah, are you there? Is Leah around? Okay, she's already bought, so she's not even interested in joining us anymore. But Leah joined us. Okay, where is it? Leah and who else? Rick, is Rick here? Rick, no? Okay. Anyway, these guys will come on afterwards. I'm going to get cracking on with this, you guys. So yesterday I talked about the funnels methodology.
Rick is here. Check.
Hey, Rick, what's up, buddy?
How you doing, buddy?
Good. We'll catch up afterwards. But Rick is joining us for the inner circle. There you go. Give us a thumbs up, Rick. All right. Good stuff. Anyway, let me just get back on this. So over here, we talked about the funnels methodology, and you guys want to write this down, okay? So what is the funnels methodology? That's basically what it is, okay? So number one, finding your niche. Every single time I go through a funnel, I want to launch a new business. This is what I do, okay? So finding your niche, making sure that I understand the prospect's pains and problems, okay? Nailing your messaging, niching down your perfect customer, engaging and exciting your perfect customer, okay? Leveraging tech automation, structuring your offers. Now, if you missed yesterday, please go watch day 2. Okay, I covered this in detail, but for now, this is basically what you're gonna get, okay? So this is the funnels methodology. How many of you learned at least one thing from yesterday that you're like, okay, that gave me massive clarity, by a show of hands? Okay, listen, this, for me, this was the key. Once I understanding marketing psychology, then understanding, okay, now I have to integrate it with tech and all of this other stuff, the game changed. So I wanted to share with you, yesterday I went through the book funnel. Why is the book funnel critical? Because the book funnel allows us to get massive amounts of customers coming to us instead of us chasing them. It also positions our products and services and builds demand, okay? Now, a lot of people will come in and they say, hey, should I come up and launch my own book? What's the answer? Yes or no, guys? Yes, just not now. You understand? Yes, just not now. Can you put 50 on here instead of 25? Okay. How many of you guys got that? Writing and publishing books are great, just not now. Why just not now? Because you making 50 grand a month is way more important than you trying to become famous and write a book. Does that make sense? And a lot of the times what happens is, run it, please. A lot of the times what happens is you think to yourself, just because other people are doing it, so should I. How many of you ever feel like that? You see someone else doing it and you're like, yeah, maybe I should copy him. That's one of the things that holds a lot of people back. So what we want to do is we want to ensure, okay, that we only focus on the proven campaigns that work. So this is another one. This is called the automated webinar funnel. Okay, what is the automated webinar funnel? The automated webinar funnel is a process where people come to us, they register for a, write this down, a one-to-many presentation. How many of you do one-to-one selling, one-to-one communication? Anyone? Raise your hand if that's you. Okay, write this down. If you do one-to-one, your income will be capped. If you do one-to-one, your income will be capped. If your income is capped, you're going to focus on fulfillment, you're going to focus on operations, you're going to focus on delivery. That's going to burn you out if you don't have the right team. Does that make sense? Now we're going a little bit more in detail for businesses. What I propose for all of my students is, as soon as you have some expertise, you want to focus on something called a one-to-many presentation. Okay, a one-to-many presentation is essentially where you do a presentation once and the presentation gets you customers. Okay, so for example, a webinar is an example of a one-to-many presentation. Okay, how many of you here have ever done a single webinar? Okay, all right, so maybe about 20% of you. So essentially a webinar is based on a proven formula of copywriting. So it's, you've seen it, I'm sure you've all attended it. This is a version of a webinar, except I'm doing it as a challenge. And I remember my first ever webinar, okay? Like 6 people joined and I was so nervous. I kept saying, I was sweating and it was the most horrible experience ever. How many of you guys have ever done something and you're like, this is absolutely horrible, I never want to do this ever again? That was me. And I said to myself, man, I can't quit because all of my rich internet buddies, they do something called a webinar. And I said to myself, I'm going to practice, I'm going to practice, I'm going to practice. And I remember coming across this one webinar, and the guy's name was John Sugar, and we promoted his webinar. And at the end of that webinar, I had just landed in Sydney, Australia. And I remember the first day we promoted his webinar, we made $60,000. Okay, how many of you think, man, my life would change if I made 60 grand in a day? Okay, here's what happens. The guy messages me on Skype. Back then, we used to use something called Skype. Okay, I don't even know if people use Skype these days, but he messages me on Skype and he goes, you need to send the replay. And I was like, no, I can't do that. People are going to complain. He goes, you need to send the replay because lots of people couldn't attend. So we send the email with the replay. The next day, we make $58,000. And I'll never forget. I said, don't worry, John, you don't have to tell me to send the replay. I'm going to email every day. For like 20 straight days, I emailed my list. I shared it. I was like, go and join, watch this webinar, blah, 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 blah. At the end, we generated over $320,000 from one single webinar. For me, that was game on. Does that make sense? So one of the things that you have to do, and you want to write this down, is if you're stuck in your life, it doesn't matter if you're making $5,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $500,000 a month. If you feel stuck in your life, what you have to do is put yourself in a new environment to create momentum. This part, I find, this is where most people, so a lot of people came up to Ismail and my team and they said, hey, we bought different programs. We're doing, Ismail, what kind of programs are they in? Agency and what else? Coaching, course programs. And I said, okay, well, how are they making money? And he said, no. I said, okay, well, I've gone to so many different gyms. If I don't get momentum, am I going to get any results? The answer is no. Does that make sense? And let me tell you this. The reason why you are here is because there's a pain or problem in your life that you're trying to solve. Yes or no? That's it. And my job is to give you the right information, help you, and then also give you some solutions to potentially alleviate that pain or problem. Does that make sense? Now, if I can alleviate your pain problem and show you a solution, then you're going to naturally and elegantly enroll in my products and services. Yes or no? That's how you make money. As an entrepreneur, and all of you here are entrepreneurs, even if you're in a 9-to-5 job, trust me, you're an entrepreneur. That guy next to me, a video dude, he's still in a 9-to-5. Okay, he works 9 to 9. But my video guy, let me tell you this. He's an entrepreneur because if he doesn't perform, he ain't getting paid. And here's the thing. He's solving my problems, yes or no? I don't know how to do any of this tech stuff, the TV, this iPad thing that's set up. Okay, it's not my thing. I'm a simple guy. I just want to present and share value. Now, he solves my problem. That's why he gets paid. Whose problems are you solving? Because right now, if you're not actively solving people's problems, then you're not going to get paid. Does that make sense? And this is every single time I want to make more money, let's just say, this is what happens. I ask myself, what's the problem I can solve? See, the wrong type of question is, how can I just make more money? The right type of question is, whose problems can I solve? So, as I shared with you guys, when I started doing these webinars, here's what happens, okay? I'm gonna just pull over my screen. I'm just gonna share this with you. Okay, there you guys can see. So here's the psychology of what happens. So I start asking the people on my list what kind of problems and challenges that they go through. And they told me, and maybe some of you guys go through this challenge. They said that they have life experience, expertise, job experience, professional experience, but they don't know how to translate that into an online course, coaching program, agency, or service. How many of you can resonate with what I just said here? Raise your hand. Raise your hand and keep it high and look around. Can you all agree you have similar challenges? Yeah, that's what happened with this group of people that I was basically surveying. So as I'm doing this, it was very clear that they had a challenge that they couldn't, they had information in their head, but they couldn't make money from that information. So I came up with this concept, which I covered yesterday, called the Guru Sales Funnels Method. How many of you guys remember the Guru Sales Funnels Method? Okay, where I shared with you, I travel around the world, I met all the gurus you can think of. I spent an absolute fortune. Everyone from Tony Robbins, Jay Abraham, I can't even remember who I met, Dan Sullivan, Dan Pena, everyone under the sun. I spent over $750,000 just buying information, okay? Because I realized, hey, if I can, like I shared with you, remember what I shared with you about Russell Brunson day one? I pay him $25,000, I get on the phone with him for 1 hour, what happens? I save $400,000 on that phone call. Do you guys remember that story? Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to buy time. And what happens is I do this webinar and I'll actually just show you what this webinar looks like, okay? So first stage is we have something called an opt-in page. Okay, so Guru Funnels, I think it was this one, okay? Guru opt-in. So essentially what happens is people come in. Can you see it now? Yeah, you guys can see it now, right? So this is an opt-in page. Ask yourself this one question every single day. How many leads are coming to you? If you're not actively building your email list each and every single day, then you are not building the asset, okay? So that's number one. Number two is after they opt in, what I do is I send them to a webinar, okay? So the webinar looks something like this. Okay, so this is another opt-in page. Let's see, I would go over here. Okay, why does it keep switching? Okay, so can you guys see this? So this is the webinar, okay? So this webinar presentation, and after people want to watch this webinar, they go over here and they'll essentially read what's called a sales page.
He's a phenomenal teacher who really,
Okay,
really.
so for example, there's Glenda there. Hey, Glenda. Okay, so if you don't have one of these sales pages, write this down. Remember on day one, I said you need to have your own ASM, an automatic selling machine. People refer to it as VSL, video sales letter, all sorts. It doesn't matter. All you need to care about is, do I have a full funnel that sells for me? How many of you would like a 24/7 sales machine? By a show of hands. How many of you have ever hired a VA, an assistant, a team member, an employee? How many men have looked in the mirror and realized, hey, you know what? I'm losing my hair. I see all the guys. Okay, except for Pablo. He says Pablo's not losing his hair because he's not stressed. But let me tell you, when you have employees, when you have team members, and I've grown many times big teams, now I prefer lean, mean, and profit driven. Okay, so now I prefer less revenue, more profit. Okay, I know people that will make millions and millions of dollars every single month, but they don't have a lot of profit. What you want to do is until you get to your first $1 million in cash, write this down. First $1 million in cash, it needs to be high profit, high margin, services, offers. Okay, don't come to me if you want to sell $100 programs. Come to me if you need to sell $5,000, $50,000 programs. Who's with me on this? Like I said, the reason why you may not believe in it is because you don't know about it. But like I said on day one, there's a reason why Mont Blanc will sell $500, $1,000 pens. And it's just a pen, guys. It's just a pen. But remember, they don't call it a pen. They call it a writing instrument. And when you buy one, it's a very bad addiction. So I don't recommend you start buying these things, because then every time you meet people, you want to buy these things as gifts. Okay. So the thing is, when you go into a Mont Blanc shop or Mont Blanc pens, you're going to see there's a specific type of person that goes in. Yesterday, I was sharing with you, I think there's something like 53 million millionaires in the world. So there's not, if you say, oh yeah, but I don't know how to target the people. Well, that's what marketing is. And with the right funnel, we can attract them instead of chasing them. So when I started doing this webinar, okay, the first time I launched this webinar, here's what happens, right? I'm selling a $10,000 program. Like, how do I get back on the screen?
We shared it. Host the desktop. So
Okay,
we shared.
so one more time.
Yeah.
Desktop one.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what happens, guys. I come up with an offer, I sell it for $10,000. In the first go, we have 120 people come in. Now, if I had 5 or 10 sales, I would have been happy. I had 120 people come and buy this program. That was $1.2 million from a single webinar. Since then, I've been a fan of doing webinars. How many of you would be fans of doing webinars if you did $1 million webinar? So when you become one of our clients and you enroll in either the inner circle or the accelerator programs or whatever, speak to my team, one of the first things that we will do is help you build one of these. Why? Because this is the fastest way to get to your first $100,000 to $1 million cash. Does that make sense? Did you guys all get this? Okay, next. This is the next funnel. And this is what we call an automated webinar. This is where you sell $1,000 to $2,000 digital courses. Now, this sounds sexy. It is very sexy, but I will say this is one of the hardest things to do when you're starting off. Okay. So you want to do the automated webinar to sell your courses only after you've built some sort of authority or you've just got some cash in the bank and you're ready to spend maybe $30,000 to $50,000 on traffic and do that. Is that okay with you guys? Okay. Until then, just focus on the stuff that I'm sharing with you here. This is the program that Ismail runs. It's called the agency. How many of you guys here are agency owners? Agency, raise your hand. Okay. So, Mikey, move this one here, this, so I can see it bigger. No, just drag it. Okay, so what happens with an agency funnel is you're getting paid $5,000, $10,000 services that are delivered by experts for sometimes 10 to 20% of the cost that we receive. And the whole funnel works like this. Traffic, so we bring people coming to us, they watch a VSL, okay, a video sales letter or a webinar, they book a phone call, and then they get sold. Does that make sense? Okay, Isman, how much is this business doing for you right now? Okay, so this one does up to $50,000 to $60,000 per month. Just by a show of hands, how many of you guys are doing the agency model? Let me know. How do I see them? Oh, just raise your hand. Hey, if you guys are doing agency model, for me to communicate with you guys much easier, just type in agency. Just type in agency. If you're running an agency, I would just want to get a quick brief. If you're running an agency, okay, so we have like, I'd say 50% of people want to run courses and coaching programs, consulting, and the other 50% are in the agency space. Okay, so today, Ismail, how much did this funnel make you today? $13,500. By the way, that's not revenue or potential sales, that's cash collected, correct? It's $13,500. That's what this one page funnel did. Okay, and all it is people come in, they watch a VSL, the VSL targets the pain points. Are you guys getting this? And then they book a phone call and then we offer them something. Okay, now this is one of my favorite ones. Obviously, you guys are part of it. It's called the 5-day challenge. How many of you guys are enjoying my 5-day challenge? Yeah. So this is what the 5-day challenge looks like. Mikey, move it more. Yeah. So this is what the 5-day challenge looks like. And what is it? It's a front-end digital course. We have a couple of upsells. As you can see here, I just took a screenshot of them. I think the last 1 or 2 days, 30th April, 29th April. And you can see there's about $3,000 to $4,000 a day selling this. Okay. Now, remember, I asked you guys day one, how many of you want to make $1 million a year? And everyone put their hand up. And then I asked the same question, how much is that per day? And everyone said, I don't know. Okay, it's $2,700 a day. It's $84,000 a month. You need to be very clear. If your mind is not clear on this, okay, like I said to you guys, my goal is to get to $100,000 per day, which is $3 million a month, which is $36 million a year. Some of my best friends that I speak to almost every single day, they do these sort of numbers. So I familiarize myself with this. Okay, I've got my goals written all over my computer, all over these annoying sticky notes. I'm sure it drives my friends, my wife, my family members crazy, but it keeps me focused on my goals. Does that make sense? So I keep these things around. I have sticky notes all over. This one funnel is doing say $3,000 to $4,000 a day. By the way, this is front end. So I'm not including the back end. Okay, the back end does right now, it doesn't matter. For most of you here, if you made an extra $3,000, well, if you made an extra 300 to 500 bucks a day, is basically 10 grand to 15 grand a month. That is life changing. Yes or no? So remember what I said. Some of you, they're like, but I want to make 10 million. We'll start off with making 1 million. Okay, I'm all up for making big dreams. But if you come up to me and you say you want to be a billionaire and you haven't made your first $10 million, I'm going to say, go back and get to work. Okay, so we also have to be realistic. Otherwise, what happens is in our brain, the gap is too much. So imagine now I'm 60 pounds overweight and I'm like, okay, I need to get a 6-pack, 8-pack ripped abs in the next 6 months. And by the way, that was my goal for a very long time until I said, hey, you know what? Let me just go lose some damn weight. Are you guys with me? Okay. Now I've lost 28 pounds. Now I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can work on the next one. So same way for you guys. If you don't have a challenge, remember, I'm going to share with you guys different campaigns, but a 5D challenge is, how many of you feel like you can present on camera just by a show of hands? Okay. You know, when I ask these questions, people don't answer. So let me rephrase it and lead it with what you would want. If you got paid $50,000 to $100,000 from presenting for 5 days, how many of you will get your pretty face on camera? Okay, that's more likely. Okay, so maybe next time I'll just lead with a bunch of numbers and then everyone will interact. So a 5-day challenge is simple like this. You get on, you present for 5 days, the content builds on each day. And during these 5 days, you give value and then you make an offer to those prospects. Does that make sense? So for example, Glenda, let's just say she helps people 50 plus reinvent themselves, use social media to brand themselves. She could come up with 5 days of content. Number 1, set up your social media. Number 2, 5 big mistakes people make on social media. Number 3, 3 secrets that she's discovered after spending $50,000 on mentors. Number 4, she's discovered her own 5-step methodology that anyone can use to just build the reinvention plan. And number 5, on day 5, she could make a special offer to everyone and say, hey guys, how many of you guys enjoyed these 5 days? If you guys enjoyed these 5 days, who wants to work with me? Book in a call, apply. Here's a program XYZ. Does that make sense? Okay. This was the funnel that during the pandemic, and by the way, write this down. 5-day challenge. The first ever 5-day challenge I did. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of this. The first 5-day challenge I ever did, this was because of my friend Roland, 2 friends, Roland and Ibn. Okay. I remember thinking to myself, do I really want to get on and present for 5 days? I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Everyone's telling me to do it. I get on. We spent $5,000 on ads. Okay, $5,000 on ads. 200 customers join the challenge. 200. So from 5,000 people, we had 200. How many? 200. From 200 people, we generated over $450,000. How many of you think that's a great ROI? How many of you, if you were in my position, you would do a challenge every single month for as long as it made you money? Raise your hand and look around. Okay. Now, do you guys realize why this is my 15th challenge? Yes. So my question to you is what's holding you back from doing your own challenge. Okay, because maybe you don't have the system, you don't have the funnel, you don't know how to present, you don't know what to present. What if you could work with me and my team, and I could just share all the SOPs, all the checklists? There's like 52 or 53 points of checklists that if you do, then your challenge is going to absolutely crush it. How many of you think that would be very valuable for you guys? Yeah. So this is why I said, hey, if you want to work with us on your funnels, make sure you book a call, speak to my team. They're friendly, no pressure, no hype, and they will see which funnel is going to be right for you, because it's not going to be for everyone. So for some people, it's going to be the right funnel. For others, not so much. Mikey, why does it keep switching? Could you? How do I go back to the desktop one? Well, let me just find this. Okay. I want to try to do this again. Where am I? So, desktop one. Where's the slides? Okay. Let me just find this for you guys. Was it this one? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh my gosh, why didn't someone tell me this before? Thank you. So I have figured out how to sort this out. Smart ass. You're gonna have lots of smart ass people around you. Sometimes you just need your wife to tell you what to do. Thanks, wife. Okay, so now this problem is not gonna happen anymore. Phew. I was thinking to myself, what's going on here? Okay, so essentially, now I have one simple desktop, and there you're going to find all the slides. Okay, are we good? Okay, good. So we talked about the sales funnels challenge. We talked about the funnels methodology and why you need to follow a structure for all of your funnels. And it comes down to two things. Okay, and you guys want to write this down. Number one is your front end. Okay, your front end marketing funnel is what gets you customers. So for example, the book funnel, the challenge funnel, the free webinar funnel, this is what gets people to come to you. Okay, this is what we refer to as inexpensive, presented with a low risk offer, and it's used to acquire customers. Okay, and let me tell you, how many of you look at yourself as investors by a show of hands? Everyone's hand should go up, because you're investing your time, your money, your energy in building your life. So when I look at my investments, whether it's, for example, real estate, crypto, business, blah, 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 absolutely nothing comes close to the ROI I get from funnels. Does that make sense? Okay. If you want to buy a house in London, it will cost you, say, £500,000 for a cheap 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom house or whatever. Okay. You probably wouldn't even get $5,000 a month rent. Whereas if you spend $5,000 a month on ads, there's a good chance you could double, triple the money that you spend and the ROI that you get. Does that make sense? And so this is why this is my number one favorite asset class, if so. Okay. Backend. The term backend refers to your higher price, more valuable products, which you market to your front end customers. And one of the first things I did was understand and figure out what makes a funnel work. Okay, result-driven funnels, having a targeted offer, specific messaging, having a pre-sale process, giving simple action steps, premium feel and value. Okay, so, sorry? Okay, next one is having $1 million offer, targeted audience, specific solution, outcome driven, high value touch points. Okay, by the way, I'm sharing with you, this is how I built this one offer. It's done multiple millions of dollars. And I just launched it, before or during the pandemic. Okay, faster and more effective. So I looked at everyone else in the industry and I realized, hey, you know what, instead of coming up with 12-month, 18-month programs, what if I created a 12-week guaranteed return ROI focused methodology that you come in, maybe you're just starting off. How do you quickly get to 5K, 10K, 20K per month in 12 weeks or less? How many of you believe that if you actually got results in the next 30 days to 12 weeks, so in the next 1 to 3 months, you would stay absolutely focused on one thing? Raise your hand. One of the reasons why you're jumping around shiny object syndrome is because whatever program you've purchased and you've bought and you're going through, it hasn't given you a quick win. Does that make sense? So what we do is we focus on the quick wins. Okay, what's the fastest way to getting to 10K plus per month? Doing in-depth research and creating your own premium offers and services. Okay, so remember there's two types. There's the front end, then there's a back end. So this is one of my students, Rehan. I helped him do this and he launched his first $3,000 offer, made his first $30,000 in sales. Then he's gone on to literally create 7 figures, multiple 7 figures, and recently he's passed 8 figures in sales. Okay, so here's a framework that says, share your story of how you learned or how you earned your concept, share your strategy. Okay, so the first one is, if you have 5, 10, 20 years of experience in any given thing, one of the fastest ways to do this is just ask yourself this question. Excuse me. What have you been paid for the last five years in your life? Who has paid you some money? Okay, and then ask yourself, you got paid for that because you have some sort of experience and expertise. So share your story of how you learned and earned your concept. Number 2 is share your strategy. Okay, so this is something I learned from one of my mentors, a guy called Dan Sullivan. And he said, if you name it, you own it. So that's why I have these methodologies like the funnels methodology, the high ticket frameworks. Okay, so when you come up with your strategy, you want to name it. If you name it, then it becomes unique to you. Then you want to tell the tactics, okay? You want to share how the tactical stuff works, okay? And then you want to share your system. Is this making sense, everyone? Okay, so like I said, I've done a lot of things right. I also share, I've done a lot of things wrong. So over here, this is an example. I talk about this masterclass and I call it MSF, Millionaire Sales Funnels, because people that come to me, they want to learn how to make 10K, 50K, 100 grand a month. They want to make a lot of money. Okay, they get attracted by the awards. They see I've been featured on Forbes, all that fancy jazz. None of the stuff really matters, okay? However, in the short term, whilst we're here in this temporary world, people like this stuff, okay? How many of you guys got attracted to this stuff, okay? That's why you're here. Okay, you're like, okay, that person has results. He's sharing a formula. I called it my 5-day sales funnels challenge. Now you're here. So that's my strategy. So every time I do a webinar, I come up with a unique name, okay? A unique name. And by the way, this stuff takes me, say, obviously, because me and my team, we've got the experience, we can condense this down to 1 to 3 days. When you're starting off, sometimes if you try to do it alone, it will take you many months. How many of you have spent 6 months, 12 months trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together? The good news is, congratulations, because you're not like the average Joe Schmo who's binging Netflix and not even bothered to have their mind open to that. Here's the bad news, ladies and gentlemen. That 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, sometimes people spend 5 years trying to make money on the internet. You're never going to get that time back. Does that make sense? Okay. And like I said, you look in the mirror, you're not getting any younger. So if you can put that urgency in yourself, hey, I got to figure out how all this stuff works and I got to figure it out fast. Okay. So you name your strategy, then you name your tactics. Okay. And we'll teach you how to do this, in our programs. So we teach you how to do this. But then if you're in that place where you're like, hey, I just need it done for me, the first funnel, your webinar, your design, your slides, your tech, your offers, all of that, me and my team will just do it for you. So we can help you get a fast win. We can help you get to your first 5 to 10, 20K a month. Okay, so here we want to share our tactics. This is a classic example of a system. We have traffic system that comes to your sales page, your webinar. It sells a digital product, $2,000 to $10,000. Then we send them a members area, and then we have a support Facebook group. So literally just these, 3 to 5 steps. You want to share your vision and your journey with your prospects. Okay. So some people are like, yeah, but I'm just starting off. How many of you feel like you're just starting off? Yeah. Well, guess what? More people are probably going to be attracted to you than me, because when people come to us, they'll be like, my gosh, I think he's up there. That's why I said the first day, don't put me on a pedestal. Okay. I'm no different than you guys. I just did different things. Does that make sense? Okay. So same way, when your prospects come across you, they look at you and they'll say, you know what? I'd rather choose you based on your story, your journey, your vision, your experience. Okay, this is what makes you uniquely you. All right, next, where does this leave you? Again, how many of you did the assignment from yesterday? Day 2? Okay, if Ismail, if you can just put a link for the day 2 assessment, that would be great. Okay, so this was something I got from my friend, a guy called Dean Jackson, and I carry this around with me. It's on my desktop, and essentially it's before, during, and after. Okay, so for example, what's the before process? So let's open this up. So this is what it looks like. Okay, your target market, who do you want to talk to? What's your message to your target market? The media that you will use to reach your target market. Lead capture system. This is how people are going to find you. So is it an opt-in page? Is it a webinar page? Is it a challenge funnel? What's your lead nurturing system? And then what's your sales conversion system? You guys get that? Is this making sense, everyone? Raise your hand if it's making sense, so we're on the same page. Okay, so for example, lead capture page is basically an opt-in page. Someone comes to you, they say, hey, I wanna learn more. Okay, cool. So for example, my one would be funnels.com. Okay. And my need nurturing system would be funnels.com/methodology. So funnels.com is my opt-in page. Okay. And I basically just say one question. Do you want higher paying customers? How many of you want higher paying customers? See, the normal way to make money that a lot of people will teach you is, hey, go and create an ebook and all this stuff. And that's all good. We teach all these things, but when you're starting off, just get yourself to $10,000 to $30,000 a month. Your life, your wife, everyone's going to be much more happier. Okay. So that's your first goal. How do you do that? Higher paying customers. People out there that are willing to spend $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 for your digital courses and services. Okay. And then it basically says, I'm prepared to make one business in London. Now, if you guys go to this page, go and click on this page right now. Okay. Go ahead, click on this page. And if you open it up, you're going to see, it will say, I'm prepared to make one business in, if you're in Toronto, it should say Toronto. Okay. We just have a little plugin there. I think it's a plugin or something that my tech team done. I don't know. Okay. I saw this one other guy who makes $100 million a year. And I told my team, hey, go find out what kind of software he uses. So now, can you guys see this? Glenda, go to funnels.com, check it out and see where it takes you.
It says, do you want to make, it says a business in Canada. It's the same thing.
Yeah, so we can change it around. We can add Toronto, Canada, whatever. Okay. So here it says London. My only question is, will it be you? And then we basically, the programs that we have, remember, because we have lots of experience, we say we guarantee you XYZ result. Now, when you're starting off, if you don't have the confidence and conviction, you don't have to come up with a guarantee like this, because we've been doing this stuff for over 13 years. I'm pretty sure, like someone, when my team or I speak to someone, we can almost guarantee like 99% of the time, hey, if you're going to make 10 to 30K a month, or if you're not going to be a right fit for us. Does that make sense? Okay. If I tell you, hey, there's 12 steps, you need to follow all 12 steps. When you get stuck, you message us, we offer you 5 times a week live coaching. So then how, if you follow the 12 steps, how can you not make 10 to 30K a month guaranteed? But yes or no? Does that make sense? If I go to the gym, I don't eat bad food, I sleep well, I don't eat ice cream or whatever, chocolates, and my trainer's there and he's holding, and every single day I measure myself, then how is it that I wouldn't get into shape? Does that make sense? Okay, so next thing is basically I have an opt-in page, I have an image that shows of authority, some branding, whatever. Put in my details. When I put my details, hey, Shaqir Hussyin goes in and plays a video webinar. Okay, so this is the kind of webinar when you guys get started, okay, especially with our VIP funds programs. If you don't make your own videos like this, you can just read off a PowerPoint slide. How many of you would be happy to just read off a PowerPoint slide? Yeah. A lot of the times people are like, hey man, I don't want to make videos. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Just go take these slides and then just record over it. Now, what happens if you don't want to even record over it? One, you can have someone that can come in that we can help you and they can record over for you. Does that make sense? Okay, I have clients, I have a couple of clients from India. They have really strong Indian accents. They have great products, but they just don't like making videos. That's just not their thing. When I used to do business in Singapore and Hong Kong, they're not as camera friendly. They don't like to get on camera. Does that make sense? So there's always solutions and ways. There's always solutions and ways for you to overcome this. So it's not a big deal. So this is basically a phase 2 camera. By the way, I shot this video on my iPhone. And it basically goes through, it shares a couple of case studies. It shows people that I've helped, all of that good stuff. It goes over some valuable content that makes people say, this is really good. I want to work with this person. Are you guys getting this? Okay. By the way, this is what we call a high ticket call funnel. Now, let me ask you this. If I asked you here, how many of you don't like selling on the phone? How many of you would put your hand up? Okay, you don't like selling. Oh, that's fine. Okay, now watch this. If I said to you, I'll send you highly qualified people that have the money to invest, that will apply to talk to you, how many of you would now like to talk to those people? See how everyone's hand just went up? Do you guys get that? It's not that you don't like talking to people, because every day of your life you talk to people. You don't go to Starbucks and just stare at the barista or the waitress or the lady, do you? You go and ask them, hey, can I get a coffee? Yes or no? So every single day you talk to people that you know you're going to have a good exchange. Same way, if I said to you, hey, you know what, Kava, if I said to you, hey, Leah, I'm going to send you 3 leads every single day. They're going to be pre-sold. They're going to be warm. They are chasing you. How many of you would pick up the phone by a show of hands? Now, if I said, hey, Leah and Kava, these people are in desperate solution and they're willing to pay you $3,000 to $30,000. You need to get on the phone and help these people. How many of you will run to your, whoa, I just need to smash my phone. Okay, that's how excited I am. How many of you would run to your phone and pick up the phone to do that right now? Do you see where I'm going with this, guys? Okay, this was the shift for me. I was like, oh man, I don't want to talk to anyone. And then I realized, hey, if I speak to someone and they buy my $10,000 program, and remember, they're already, write this down, they're pre-sold, they're pre-motivated, and they're pre-educated. Okay. If people are, see, the reason why you say you don't like talking to people on the phone is because you associate it with selling. And selling is something bad that most people think about. But if you just shift to, no, I'm going to speak to qualified people. I'm going to speak to people that want my help. How many of you will be way more excited? So this is what we do with the funnels. That's not an overnight process. So some people, like for example, you heard about Akbar Sheikh, okay? They come in and they go, okay? Some students, they might take a little bit more time, but you have to have the right funnels. So this is the shift. People started chasing me versus me chasing them. Okay, I went from being the hunter to becoming the hunted. When that happened, game over or game on. Okay, so we go and we go back to
Desktop one.
just desktop one. Okay, so we go over here. So funnels methodology. This is my lead nurturing system. Okay, my sales conversion strategy in this case, because I'm not selling a $500 or $1,000 product, let's just say I'm offering a $5,000 product, it will be book a phone call. So write this down. If it's $2,000 or under, you send people direct to an order page. Okay, so if you want to sell something for $50 to $2,000, send them direct to an order page. If you want to sell something for $3,000 to $10,000, you want to get them on the phone. Ideally on the phone. Ideally, not always, but majority of the time, if you wanted to sell a $10,000 to $50,000 program, you can sell it on the phone, you can sell it through automated webinars, and you can sell it in-person live events. Does that make sense? Okay, so what's the power of in-person live events? This is where people come to you, they get to meet you, they get to come and learn from you. If I said to you, how many of you would love to do live events? How many of you would love to do live events, even if it was just 5 people? Okay, now let me ask you this. If people paid you $5,000 each and they flew from all over the world to come and sit with you for 1 or 2 days, how many of you would love to do live events? Yeah, there you go. Okay, the reason why some of these things are uncomfortable for you right now is 1, because you haven't done it, and number 2, because no one's paid you enough money. Yes or no, Jenny Kim? Okay, you don't like talking to people. Okay, I'll give you $20,000. Can I come and sit with you for a day? Yes. Okay, you don't like me, you're going to take me out for dinner if I pay you $20,000. Roy's like, okay, I can do that. All right. And what you have to realize, it's not even about you. It's not even about me. Is can you solve someone's problem or pain? Okay. And sometimes what happens is because you're such an expert, you yourself don't even know that you can do it. That's why people will come to us and we'll figure out, hey, you know what? Let's extract where you're at, what your past experience is, and let's come up and figure out which niche we can choose and target. And hey, let's spend the next 30 days, 90 days. And if it doesn't work, then we can shift. Does that make sense? Maybe you don't like working with a select type of people. I don't know, from the UK. Maybe you don't like to work with British people. Maybe your time zones doesn't permit. Maybe you don't like working with, I don't know, Australians or Canadians, or I mean, everyone loves working with Canadians. I don't know what it is. There's Glenda. Everyone loves Canadians. Okay, so Canadian, forget Canadians. But maybe you're like, oh, you know what? I tried this for 90 days. It didn't work. Same way, you know, what happened with me is I used to do events in Singapore. Okay, and I would do them in Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, because I used to go to those countries a lot. And I had this limiting belief that people in London don't have any money. Now, I grew up in London, but I don't know why. I just thought no one in London has any money. So one day I remember hosting this event. It was 3 days. And when I do an event, usually one person buys like $100,000 package, and then a handful of people will buy my $50,000 inner circle program. And then the rest will basically figure out a way to spend, $20,000 on our other coaching programs. That one event, I think there was like 45 or 50 people, and we generated over $600,000. And I was like, London has money. Okay, what do you think I did? I doubled down. I started doing more and more and more events in London. So sometimes what happens is you only get to experience the other side once you take action. Okay, so keep this in mind. So my lead capture page in this case would be funnels.com. The lead nurturing would be funnels methodology, or like I just said, events. And my sales conversion could be events, could be a phone call, could be in-person, one-on-one, okay? Could be a automated funnels webinar. Are you guys with me so far? Is this making sense, everyone? Comment in the chat box if it's making sense. Ismail? We good? So, and then here you can, it's like how I deliver a world-class experience, over delivering. How do I increase customer lifetime value? By offering more products. How can I orchestrate and stimulate referrals? By asking people, hey, if you guys enjoy this, can you promote my stuff? Can you become an affiliate for my products and services? Does that make sense? Okay, so let's do 3 people reflections. Ismail, if you want to pick 3 people, guys, I want to have 3 people share the reflections and breakthroughs. Who wants to go first? Raise your hand. Okay, Ismail, if you can bring him on, please. If you can do that, Ismail. Okay, go for it. Bring Kiva on. Okay, Kiva, how are you, Kiva?
Great. How are you?
Really good. So, Kiva, you want to share what your breakthroughs are?
Sure. For me, it's the front end and the back end marketing.
And
Yeah,
what
it's
is that?
good to have. Yeah, it's really good on the front end to have the selling being done for me, so that people will come pre-qualified, and then the back end to have the higher priced products as well.
Okay. Okay, I like that. And do you have a business or a product right now?
I do.
And what sort of business and product is it?
So I just started with MM. So I do have the agency. Yeah.
Okay, nice. And have you got your first few clients?
I have not. I just started building out on the I started building out my system.
Okay, nice. Okay, well, everything has a starting point, and one of the things that we help our clients do is essentially help them grow their agency. So what we've seen as well is when you're starting off your agency is, Ismail is an agency expert. So Ismail, what would you say is probably the number one biggest challenge people go through when it comes to agencies? You want to come closer? Yeah, so generating, yeah, this is the microphone. There you go.
So it's usually generating prospects.
Carry on.
Yeah, so it's usually generating prospects, right? And when people also, the prospects, when they get on the phone, they're not ready to buy, and they're just struggling. They don't know anything about you, right? Which is why a funnel is very important, because it does all of the pre-selling for you. It does all of the heavy work. And yeah, that's why you need a funnel.
Yeah, and what would you say, because you've obviously built lots of different agencies, what would you say has been the key critical, secrets or key critical thing that has helped you get results?
It's literally, so before you came, 6 months I was struggling, and literally all you said to me was implement the agency VSL funnel. You guys can go check it out, tiktoksagency.com. So what we did is a very simple funnel. Obviously, there's a lot of technical work that goes behind it. And if you look at the video, it's Shaqir speaking. It's a 20-minute video. Each sentence is designed to basically get whoever books in begging to work with you, right? So once we implemented that video and we started our lead gen again, literally everyone that would come on the call, they're already ready to hand in credit card. And we had to be very selective with who we bring on, because at the start we brought on quite a few people, saw it wasn't a right fit, but that was prospect issue solved, right? We had an abundance of prospects coming in, and then we can figure out the rest, like, okay, who should we now serve?
Okay, nice. So that's basically what again, with Ismail, what happened was he tried so many different things. And what we found out is, when you're starting off, when you're starting off, it's critical to identify who is your ideal client and which funnel attracts them. Okay, so what Ismail has is something he calls the free traffic accelerator. Okay, so if you guys are interested in the free traffic accelerator, this is separate. Ismail handles that because, for example, like in this call, about half of you, I would say, let's do this. How many of you are a course or coach or consultant by a show of hands? Yeah. And then how many of you would say you're into an agency or you're providing services to business owners? So I would say basically it's around 50-50. Okay. So my specialty is how do we help you grow your business, regardless of whatever other programs that you've purchased and you're going through, is how do we bolt on whatever you have got going on? Does that make sense? Because it's just like me, right? Like, for example, just because I have a trainer doesn't mean, okay, I'm going to go to the gym. I still joined an online mastermind for fitness, where it's basically a bunch of bros that share their meals and recipes, which is so weird. But I find myself, okay, I should learn how to cook now. Then I'm like, okay, I don't know if I should be doing that. Okay, however, it keeps me accountable. Does that make sense? Okay, on top of that, I got a one-on-one nutritionist coach because I realize no matter how much I go to the gym, if I'm eating bad food, it doesn't work out. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Because like so let's just say in the last 1 year, I've lost, say, 28 pounds. But the first 6 months, what was happening was I'd go to the gym and I'd eat anything I would like because I thought, no, I'm going to the gym. And then after I hired a nutritionist, he said, it doesn't work like that. I say, okay, obviously that's why I hire the experts. It's simple pieces of advice. So wherever you're at, what we would do is we would figure out how to bolt on. So for example, Jenny, she's also into like the agency stuff, right? But she realizes, like she shared yesterday, she's not really happy with the progress that she's making herself. So it's not necessarily about the guru or whatever, because different people teach different things. Are you guys with me? So for example, Ismail, yes or no? Is that fair to say? So for me, I never bash. I'm not into that. Okay. I believe in like high energy, high frequency. I don't know if you like, how many of you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's like, there's room for everyone to eat. Okay. So I'm not going to bash and say this person is bad or good or whatever. I just say, hey, listen, are you making 30 to 50 grand a month right now? Yes or no? If the answer is no, there's a 24-year-old kid right in front of me that's willing to speak to anyone that's in agency and help you get to 10, 20, 50K a month with his free traffic system. Now, if I asked you how many of you would be interested in that, raise your hand. Okay, Ismail, there you go. You can make a note of that. All of you guys, please make sure that you go and book a call. And Ismail, how do they book a call with you directly? Okay, he's going to send a link. If you click that link, then, we have like probably 5 or 6 people doing the calls. But if you book a call with either Marilyn or Ismail, they'll help you with the agency. Does that clear things up, Keva? Give you some clarity?
It does. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And again, so for example, I will teach, now that the agency part is over, how many of you identify yourself as consultants or you want to sell digital courses and coaching programs? Okay. So for you guys, I would just say, one, will help you identify what your unique experience and expertise is. And then how do you package that up and attract people that will pay a premium? Does that make sense? And then how do you fast track yourself to going from 0 to 10, 20, 30K a month? After usually 30 to $40,000 a month, then we recommend, okay, you can do all the fancy stuff, like do a podcast show, write a book, all of that. But in the beginning, it's all about dialing in your PMF, your product market fit. Okay, we want something called a minimum viable product. How many of you guys know what a minimum viable product is? It's a product that you create in a weekend. How many of you guys will give me a weekend if I shared with you how you can make an extra 10, 20, $30,000 a month? Yes or no? Okay, well, I plan to do a 2-day boot camp, okay, a 2-day implementation boot camp where we're literally going to sit down together and we're just going to get the entire course done in one sitting. Some of you will probably do it in like 2 to 3 hours. Some of you, if it takes you a weekend, it takes you a weekend. Are you guys really good with this? Okay, so keep this in mind. These are the two business models. Actually, you know what? Once we're here, I am going to share with you guys. Ronald, are you done with those slides? Or do you need some more time? Okay, let's see. So I'm just gonna open this up. So let's go through. So these were the three things that I wanted to cover with you guys. First one is scalable income skills. Please write this down. Okay, so this is your marketing, your conversions, your sales processes. Okay. This is what happens when you come in and you think to yourself, okay, you know, I just don't have, like, think of it this way. The income that you make right now comes down to the skills that you've developed over the last year, the last 5 or 10 years. Okay. Now, if you want to make new income, then you have to develop new skills. Okay. And, you know, right next to it, you can just put down the Wealth Academy certification. Okay. Because we're going to talk about that probably tomorrow or the day after. Okay. So scalable income skills are skills that are marketing, selling, funnels, copywriting, conversions, team buildings. These are skills that essentially take your income and grow it exponentially. Who's with me on this? Okay, so for example, if you're like I have friends that are doctors, and I have lots of clients that are doctors, and then they come in and then they want to have supplemental income, or they want to replace their income, so they come and join this same program essentially. So when someone starts off as a doctor, they'll earn X amount of money. As they go through the experience and they stack on years, they'll make more money, and then there's, I wouldn't say it's unlimited, but there is a cap. Yes or no? Okay, there's a cap, and the cap is usually like their time or whatever. A lot of doctors, I find, no offense to any doctors. Do we have any doctors here? No. Yes, no? Okay, so they tend to lose like passion for their thing, and that's why they come to us. So anyway, they have skills that are scalable. So in marketing, if you learn, so for example, phone sales, if you learn conversions, if you learn how to create upsells, downsells, if you know how to launch funnels, if you can stack those skills, what happens is your income doesn't grow like this. Your income grows like this. Do you guys understand that? Okay, guys, this is how I went from making, 100 grand a year, which, is not a lot of money. Okay. You can barely live for 100 grand a year in London. And I'm sure in lots of countries like that, or in lots of places. But then it got me to $1 million. Okay. So that's those awards. And then I found when I got to $10 million, that's where you can really be like, okay, you know what? Now I'm becoming like creating multiple millions in profits. Do you see the difference? Okay. And like I shared with you guys, how many of you guys believe that in today's day and age, you got to make multiple millions? Anyone? Okay. Yeah, trust me. Just you know, I don't know where you guys live, okay? I'm sure it's like all over the world, but in London, you can't even buy a good house for £1 million, okay? Anyway, not the houses that my wife wants. So let's just say we all got to make a lot more money. And so whatever your goal is, just think to yourself, hey, how do I just increase that goal? And then what skills do I need to develop? Okay. Second thing is cash flow business model. Okay. By the way, if you're sitting down for the last 2 hours, let's see how long we've gone on for. Okay, if you're sitting down for the last 2 hours, I need everyone to stand up and just do a little stretch. Okay, get some energy in you guys. I have a little cheat code, which is I'm on a rubber mat. So every time I'm stepping, it's almost like I'm jumping on this rubber mat. Okay, if you have a trampoline next to you guys, you should have a trampoline. Those things are good for you. All right, let's see. By the way, do we have any questions right now? I can help anyone answer. Just, I saw some of you guys raise your hand. Ismail? Questions? Yeah, fire away. Okay. Mine says, and I says. Okay, so that's a good question. Okay, someone says, Cindy goes, how do you guarantee results? Okay, so when someone does something for a long period of time, they have different insights than you will. Yes or no? For example, I actually have not one. I have a nutritionist coach. I have a basically a body coach, and then I have a guy who's basically ripped and shredded, which I call my six-pack coach. Yeah. Now the thing is, some people are happy with. How many people are happy with just one mentor? Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I want fast results. How many of you want fast results? Okay, so for me, what my nutritionist coach is a ex-bodybuilder. Then my friend who used to be one of my students, he has been a six-pack. He's like a, I don't even know what to call him, but he's like a six-pack shredded dude. His body's fully shredded. And the other guy, he's never missed a single day of workout in about 13 years. Now, if I said to you, hey guys, do you think I'm on the right track if these are my three coaches? Yes or no? I don't ask my friends, my family members what to eat. If I want to eat something, I ask these three guys. Does that make sense? If you want to make $1 million, you got to find someone that makes $1 million, that makes $10 million, that makes $50 million, whatever the case is, wherever you want to get to. So I strongly always believe, hey, if someone has the results, you know, I believe everything comes from God. And then I believe everything is a system. The reason you have got where you are is because you followed a system. Yes or no? Okay. The reason why my friends, some of them are doctors, is because they went through and studied years and years and got degrees and worked in hospitals and all of this stuff. It's a system. If you follow the system, can you get this end result? Yes or no? So if you come to me and you're trying to make $10,000 or $30,000 a month, and I tell you, hey, based on these numbers, I can show you this is what you have to hit. Because I have the data. It's not because I feel. Is Razia here? I heard Razia is here. Razia from Discover You. She here? I don't know if she's here or not. But today I was doing a call with her and her team, and they have like 100,000 plus subscribers. They're really big all over the world. They do like faith-based programs. And when they asked me, hey, we want to tap into YouTube ads, I was like, okay. They're asking me a question, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, here's what you have to do. Boom. This is the ad. This is the angle. This is the funnel. This is how much you're going to spend. This is going to be your cost per acquisition. This is how many booked calls you're going to get. Now, Keva, if I said to you, for you to go from here right now to $30,000 a month guaranteed, these are the 7 steps that you need to follow. Can you follow those 7 steps?
I can.
Yeah. Why do you think people pay $10,000? I mean, I have someone that's paying me $10,000 for a month for literally 2 hours a month. So he would just get 30 minutes of consulting from me. Right there, I don't know if is Todd Phillips here. I think I saw Todd's name here. Todd, if Ismail, if Todd's there, unmute him, see if he's there, please. Why would I have people that would pay $100,000? People aren't stupid. Someone that has $100,000 liquid cash, they're not stupid. Why would they just give you 100 grand? Because they believe the result on the other side is far more bigger and better, yes or no, than the $100,000 that's saved in their bank account that's being eroded by inflation, and that is it's not producing anything for them. So a lot of the times what happens is, because of how we grow up, we think, oh yeah, we gotta hold on to what we have. But the thing is, if you hold on to what you have, that's what keeps you stuck. How many of you agree with what I'm sharing here? So just like the first day I said, your identity allows you to make whatever income you make. So the question that you said, sorry, darling, I forgot your name. I can't remember the name. Is it Cindy or someone, sorry, that asked me the question, how can you guarantee us this result? This is why we have to make sure that we get on the phone, and if you qualify, then we'll tell you the whole plan. Does that make sense? Because we'll say, this is the number that you need to hit. This is the funnel that you need to hit. So for example, Glenda's funnel is going to be completely different to maybe Kava's funnel. She wants to do agency services. That means you're not interested in primarily sharing your expertise and knowledge and branding yourself. You're more interested in selling other people's services, being the middleman, and then outsourcing all of the agency work. Does that make sense? So you'll have a very different conversation, and primarily it should be with Ismail. I don't know if Ismail's booked out. So if you guys are watching this, make sure you book a call. Ismail, drop your link, please, direct to your calendar. And this is specifically for agency. By the way, if you don't have an agency or you want to start an agency, Ismail is going to be the guy that you want to speak to. And so the conversation with you is going to be very different to somebody else. Does that make sense? Okay. So now ask yourself, when you have your own online business, what sort of conversations do you need to have with your clients based on where they're at? So scalable income skills. Second is the cash flow business model, okay, which is information courses, coaching, consulting. So just write this down: courses, coaching, consulting. And I'm going to push some of you guys really outside your comfort zone. And I know some of you guys just want to make $10,000 a month, but I'm going to say you want to aim for a lot more. Okay. Now, if it's hard for you to even think of that, then you have to be around the right mentors and the right masterminds. Okay. Where it becomes a standard. What's the word, guys? It becomes a standard. And the fastest way, I spent a lot of time with Tony Robbins when I joined his $75,000 program and all this stuff. And one of the biggest things I got from him is you got to raise your standards. So your income right now is a reflection of the standards that you have for yourself. Does that make sense? It's good news that you're showing up here, because this is the first stage. And I hope you guys are getting value from this, because like I said, on day one, my goal is to give you some mental shifts, okay? Mental shifts that can show you, hey, this is how the funnel systems work, okay? So this is going to be another example of a funnel. So one of the key components is, let's go over this actually. Okay, so if you're just joining us, I know we have people joining us. I can see people joining us late and whatever. If you want us to personally give you a game plan, step-by-step roadmap, automate your lead generation, sales funnels, book a call, funnels.com/audit call. It's going to take you there. Here's the key action steps that you need to take. So grab your pen and paper, because we're going to go through this together right now, okay? So becoming a product of a product. If you want to charge somebody $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, and if you want to be in the high ticket business, you must first have belief. Yes or no? So a lot of you you're like, yeah, I want to charge like business owners, $10,000, $20,000 for a package, but then you're too afraid to invest in yourself. I was very fortunate when I was 21 years old. one of my mentors, this American dude called Michael, ex-Marine dude, big bald head, scary looking dude, you know, he said to me that I need to invest in myself. And I shared with you guys the story on day one, so I'm going to go over it. But it inspired me to go and find $45,000 to go and invest in myself. And when I did that, and then I grew my business 6 figures the first year, multiple 6 figures the second year, and then $1 million the third year, I was like, okay, this is why I say it's so easy when I'm speaking to someone and I tell them, hey, if you pay me $30,000 or $50,000, I guarantee I can give you a funnel, I can help you, I can coach you. And I'll coach you until you get results. It's because of the conviction and the belief that I have in myself because of the process I went through. Does that make sense? Okay. And so this is essentially what people pay you for. Okay. So this is a case study. And we're just going to quickly go through this. So for example, Dan Sullivan, this guy over here, I see his squeeze page, his opt-in page. So if you don't have an opt-in page, if you don't have an opt-in funnel, we will help you with your own opt-in funnel. Number two is he gave away a lead magnet. So something of high value. Why do you want to give something of high value for free? That's how you build trust. So if you don't have something to give away for free or high value, we'll work with you. We'll come up with something. My team and I will help you write it, craft it, record it, whatever the case is. So it gives away this free report. How many people read free reports? Not very many. Okay. Anyway, so I get this free report and then immediately he invites us to a virtual event, kind of like this. Actually, it wasn't a virtual, it was a physical event at the Four Seasons in Park Lane in London. So I go there and he sells an event for $10,000. Okay. So I say, okay, cool. I want to buy. Why do I want to buy? This guy has got over 35 years of experience and expertise in the space of mindset coaching. How many of you believe that if you can upgrade your mindset, you can upgrade your marketing, you can upgrade how many millions you can make? Okay. It's very simple. Okay. And a lot of times people will say, yeah, but I don't know if I need any mindset work. You guys see where the issue is? Okay. I still believe I need lots of mindset work. I just choose to adopt different beliefs. Okay. So then I went after the $10,000 event, I upgraded to his next program. I think he's got a $150K program, but I went to his $25,000 live event. And it was just one day in Toronto, and just a few, maybe 2 or 3 of the lessons that I learned from that, going to that event, completely transformed my entire life and thinking. In fact, some of the stuff that I do with you guys here now, I look back and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I learned that from Dan Sullivan. You guys get that? Okay. At the time, it sucked. I mean, he's like 75, maybe he's like 80 years old now. I paid him 35 grand. I was thinking to myself, man, if I can't tell my dad I paid this guy, this dude here, 35 grand because he's going to teach me how to think. You understand what I'm saying? At the time, it was short-term pain for long-term gain. Okay, and to become successful in any industry, whether it's funnels, agency, coaching, consulting, this is what you have to get through. Okay, too many people, I don't want to call them weak, but you got to toughen up. Okay, instead of saying I don't have the money, okay, go. If you want it, you're gonna go find the money. If you don't want it, you're gonna just make an excuse and stay stuck. Yes or no, everyone? And then in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 5 years later, you're like, yeah, I once heard Shaqir Hussyin speak at an event. Okay, well, why haven't you done anything with it? So moving on to successful personal brands. Okay, what are the key components? The serious, committed, consistent. Thanks. Okay, result and solution driven. They invest in self-growth and education, higher quality standards. They have a vision and a mission. Okay. And again, my mission with you guys is to give you guys the exact step-by-step blueprint clarity that you need in your online business to create positive cash flow. And the reason why I believe funnels is the future of all of this is when I look back, say over 10 years of data. So this is not, oh yeah, this is how I feel and stuff. This is cold hard data. When I look back, spending over $1 million just on one campaign, making a 12x. So $1 million turns into $12 million. So if you're starting off, imagine spending 100 grand and making $1.2 million, or even spending 10 grand and making 120K. How, if you could spend $10,000 and you made $120,000, how many of you believe strongly that your lives would be changed forever? Okay. When I speak, the reason why I have so much conviction is not because of these awards or any of this stuff. It's because this has been my life for over a decade. Okay. When I need to go and when I want to go and make an extra $1 million or $10 million cash, whatever the number is, I just ask myself, what's the problem? And the guys, you want to write this down, because trust me, this has helped me so much. What's the problem I can solve? Okay. And when I say this, people are like, yeah, but what if I'm not an expert? Okay, well, I'm not an expert in lots of things. Okay. That doesn't stop me. For example, the agency, like Ismail owns this agency that does up to $50,000 a month. Ismail, do you even know how to run TikTok ads? No. Have you ever created and edited a video on TikTok? No. Can he make money on TikTok? Yes or no? Okay. Yes or no? So when I share this with you guys, I want you guys to think to yourself, hey, how do I create my own funnel that solves someone's problem? Because if you can solve someone's problem, then you're going to get paid. So what do you need to do to position yourself as an expert without any experience whatsoever? So remember, there's two parts of this, okay? So for example, let's just pick on Glenda. She's right in front of me, okay? So Glenda can...
Hey, Shaq, hold on one sec. There's this gray strip that keeps coming over your screen. Now it's on the side and at the bottom. So you can't see all your screen.
Can you see it now?
Okay, now there's just a little one at the top. Now you can see it. Well, now you've got it underneath. Okay.
Maybe we should just turn this big TV off. Yeah?
We're
It's
good.
okay. Okay, I can just see them here. How do I turn this off? Just unplug it, just make sure nothing else gets affected.
It's like to my computer, not yours.
Okay, so are we good? Are you gonna just take it off? Okay, Glenda, is this fine? Can you guys see my screen all clear?
Well, we can see it, but the gray thing just came back.
I think that's because you're talking, that's why. Is that it?
No, it's been around. It wasn't just me. It was other people mentioning it. No, it's still there.
Yeah, it's on my screen too.
Okay, is that done?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, that's fine. I'll do it. I'll just keep it like this and just open this up for me so I can see them. So what do you need to position yourself as an expert? So there's two types of experts. How many types, guys? Two types. One is you being the expert. So for example, I am a funnels expert. However, I have an agency that runs Facebook ads and YouTube ads. How many of you think to yourself, man, even if I have a product or a course or a system, I don't know how to get traffic? How many of you think like that? Raise your hand, let me see. Okay, so we have an agency. So imagine we did the lead generation for you. Do you now think you can handle and you can deal with the leads that come to you? Yes or no? So a lot of the times what happens is people are like, yeah, but even if I'm an expert in this, how do I, look, I'm not an expert in a gazillion things, but my company can offer a gazillion different products and services because they're the experts. So this part, what do you need to position yourself as an expert? You don't have to, one, the big mistake people make is they think, but if I call myself a Facebook ads expert, so for example, Kava, let's just say I wanted to help Kava get to Kava, pick a number, write it down, 10, 20, 30, 50 grand a month, fire away. and just write down one service. Ismail, we're going to do a little case study on her. Yeah. So let's just say Keva wanted to get to, give me a number. So 20 grand a month, 30K a month. Okay. So the wrong way would be to say that you want to charge people $100, $300, $500 a month. The right way would be to have a package of product that's $5,000 to $10,000. So let's just say you get one product, one customer at 10 grand a month, and then 4 customers at 5K a month. That's $30,000 a month. Yes or no, everyone? So if you want to make 30 grand a month, that's similar numbers that you can write down. Now the question is, who can afford to pay you this money? So I'll tell you who can afford to pay you this money. If it's 5 grand a month, then you're looking at 60 grand a year. You want to get paid from a small business. That means what you really need is a business owner that's doing at least 6 figures. Yes or no? If they do 6 figures, will they happily pay Keva 5 grand? Yes or no? Don't worry if you don't know how to do Facebook. I'm not saying that you have to do anything. I'm just saying, I'm going to show you how to do this, but you have to just agree with what I'm saying. Yes or no? Everyone, we're on the same page, everyone? Just give me a double high five. Come on. Let's go. Okay. Ree, your hand's not working, bro. Give me a double high five. There you go. Okay. All right. So 30 grand a month, you need 5 customers. Okay. So it could be $6,000 each, or 1 customer at 10 grand and 4 customers at 5K. Then you got to identify, okay, who already is spending this much money? So they are usually going to be small business owners. So for example, today when I'm speaking to the guy that's paying me $30,000 plus 30% of his business profits that's going to come in. Remember, this guy's done $60 million already. Okay. And he's willing to do this. This is what he said. Okay. So can you send me the slides, by the way, for it? He goes to me, well, because you have experience on this, you can help us. I said, absolutely. Funnels. I asked him a question, which was, hey, how much are you selling? How much are you guys paying for your Facebook ads person? Guess what his response was? Oh, we got this young kid. He's like 22 years old. We're paying him maybe 4.5, 5.5 grand a month. Does that make sense, Keva? So now imagine Keva joins our program and the 22-year-old kid, for whatever reason, he doesn't get the results. Now, I specialize in, say, YouTube traffic, YouTube ads. That's what my agency basically helps companies do. But let's just say now I said, hey, you know what, Keva, I've got this friend of mine, or I've got this company that I know, I've got one of my clients, they want to do Facebook ads. Keva can come in and take over that 5.5 grand a month contract. Yes or no? She can then use another service that we can recommend, and they'll do all of the ads and everything for $1,500 to maybe 2 grand a month. Now she just pockets herself $4,000 a month. Yes or no? If she does that with 5 measly customers a month, that's 20 grand a month. That's 250 grand a year. That's what we will help you do. Does that make sense? So that's the agency part. If you're a coach, consultant, expert, we'll have something similar for you. So I want to go through and just walk you through this. Okay. It's called the content conversion matrix. So there's 4 steps: entertain, educate, convert, persuade. Now I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but what I will share with you is you can take a screenshot of this and study this in your own time. Okay. And you can see, hey, you know what? To create awareness, you need to have like content. And some of these things they don't make any sense. Like for me, I don't have any games and stuff, but some people will have brand advertising, events and conferences. And then you guys can just study, hey, how do I entertain, educate, convert, and persuade customers? Okay. And essentially, it always starts off with awareness. So the more that you can have awareness, meaning that you can have a funnel that you can get traffic from. Does that make sense? The reason why Jenny and Keva, no one is coming to you and giving you the money is because, one, you don't have a funnel that attracts people, right? If I sent you tomorrow 20 leads, do you think you could even close one person? Yes or no? What if those 20 people filled out a form and they said, hey, Kiva, Jenny, I want to work with you. I've got $15,000 budget. Will you be happily getting on the phone to close that deal? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up if that's you. Give me a thumbs up and raise your hand if that's you. And if that's something that you want. Okay. That's what we will help you do. We will create the funnel for you, help you with your brand advertising, so people come to you and you don't have to chase people. Does that make sense? That's the whole, like the reason why we do these 5-day challenges is to educate people on this topic. Okay. So traffic comes in, they turn into leads, prospects, customers, and clients. Okay. So on the left-hand side, can you guys see the entire process? That's the entire funnel. We will help you do one of these. How does this work? I'll show you how this works. For example, we help you get the clarity and action plan. And I'll just show you, because sometimes demonstration is better than just sharing. Okay. So if you see here, this is an example. So for example, Jenny and Kiva, and for everyone watching this, okay, this is an example. Aye. Tomorrow, we're not using no fancy big TV. All right, guys, remember this. Simplicity will make you more money than being fancy. Yes or no? Okay. This has been my mantra, except sometimes when I listen to other people, Mikey, not much love. You got to try things out, you know, and then say, dish the expensive, fancy TV and just go back to a simple little camera and webcam. Okay. Are you serious?
Yeah, sure.
It's not loading. Okay. All right. Let's go. Ismail, if you can just double check those slides. So, oh, wait. Okay, so there. Okay, perfect. Okay, so for example, this is an example of a one-page funnel. Okay, write this down. When we start working together, this is one of the first things that we're going to do with you guys. Okay, thank you. Open this up for me. Open this so I can see it. One-page funnel. What is it? One-page funnel. What does the one-page funnel do? It focuses on getting someone to 10K to 30K a month. This is pretty much the same funnel that I gave to Ismail, who's been able to make as much as $50,000 in a single month. Okay. We just started, it's May right now. He's already done $13,500 just today. So what you predicted to do by the end of this month? 40 grand this week. 40K. By the way, guys, he's 24 years old. 40K this week. Okay. So this is an example. Let's go over it. Here's a couple of the components, and you guys want to write this down, please. Okay. Number one, you can have a video that shows off your authority. Okay. So in my case, obviously, because I have different results, I show these results. And how this works is, if you can see, I will have a professionally edited video. This was me just in front of front of these awards, okay? And I'm just basically talking about, hey, I can help you with XYZ. And what I do here is I go through and I educate people on the power of funnels. And I say, hey, if you can get leads, customers, then you can essentially make money. Does that make sense? If you don't get leads and customers, then you're going to have a business that no one ever goes to. Therefore, no one ever buys from you. So it's like people that say, oh, I have this great idea, but your great idea doesn't make anyone money, right? And so if your great idea doesn't make anyone money, then what's the point of having a great idea? Yes or no? So what we want to do, we want to eliminate all that. And we basically come up with something like this. And obviously here I'm saying funnels, so mine is going to be different than yours. But let's go over here and let's go over a couple of my clients. How many of you guys heard from Jamal yesterday? Okay. Raise your hand if you saw Jamal yesterday. Yeah. So Jamal was typical dude, no internet experience. You know, he's made his money kind of the old fashioned way, talking to people, doing one-on-one consulting stuff. Okay. And then we helped him craft a digital program, Privacy Pro Academy. Then we taught him how to create a certification on the back end. So we created like a $3,000 front end, $10,000 back end. And some people are like, but do I need a big team? The system that we teach is the system that we taught Jamal, which is once we give you the funnels and the system and you're making money, the first person that you need to hire is a VA. Okay, how many of you guys are open for that? Okay, unless you love working and you're a control freak. Okay, we have sometimes clients like that. And then my team and I have to explain to them, if you try to do everything yourself, then you have no life. So chill out. Okay, so we're gonna show you also how to have a chill out business model. So he right now has this young Indian girl. I think she lives in India, or maybe she's Pakistani, from Pakistan. And I think she gets paid like $600 a month. And she's on LinkedIn and she gets him leads. This guy has made 300,000. Is it dollars or pounds? He's in the UK, so it's 300,000 pounds, zero traffic. Okay, so write this down, guys. First stage is your funnels. Second stage is your offer. Third stage is traffic. And fourth stage is, get this, commission-based salespeople. Now, Abid, if you ever get stuck, why are you not making 50 grand a month? It's one of these four things. Is that okay? The reason why Jamal is doing 25,000 pounds a month, okay, which is like nearly 35, 40K a month or whatever, is because he's followed this 4-step process, okay? It's not that hard. In the beginning, if you don't know what you're doing, then it is going to be hard. But this is basically the procedure that he's used, okay? So I've helped, from what I've seen, more people make 6, 7, even 8 figures. This is one of my students. You heard of Akbar Sheikh today on this call today. Some of these guys, this guy right now, okay, this guy over here. Actually, let me give you a fun example. Can you guys see these two guys? Give me the number 2 if you can see these two guys. Both millionaires. Here's what happens, guys. Okay, and I told you guys from day one, I'm going to be transparent. I don't care. I have no ego in this. I also make mistakes. So obviously, as you guys know, people pay us like $50,000 for a funnel. Okay, so this guy paid me 150K. The Jeremy Minot, he's an Inc. 5,000 top earner. Okay, and the guy on the right, he paid me 45 or 50K. Okay, so Scott right now is making over $1.5 million per month. Anyone else say wow? Wow. Yeah. Wow. Congratulations to him. The guy on the left, his name is Jeremy Minor. How many of you have ever heard of Jeremy Minor? He's become one of the world's top sales trainers. Let me tell you this. Okay. By the way, Jeremy Minor last year did $37 million. Both of them 2 years ago, guess what they did? They paid me, Jeremy Minor paid me a long time ago, but both of them offered me equity in their company. And I mistakenly didn't take it. I was like, I don't want to just pay me the 50K or the 100K or whatever. Now, that was my big mistake, and I don't plan to make it anymore. So my goal with you guys, whoever qualifies to work with us, is once you get to a certain stage, maybe making 50K or 100K a month, and you're looking for a partner that you can scale to $500,000 a month, $1 million a month, that's where I would be open, if it's a right fit, to come in. How many of you guys like the idea of that? Right? And so my goal is to, how do I help you guys go from 0 to 10, 50K, 100K a month? And then you want to scale, that's where I'll come in. So over here, we have something called social proof. Okay, so we have basically testimonials. And the reason why we have this, so let's
Chairman and founder of Seventh Level. We're a global sales training company. And when it comes to hiring people to do funnels and media buying and just different work, we only hire the premium people because we want the biggest result. Shaqir, my good friend now, is that person. If you want funnels built, if you want to learn how to drive successful traffic, email marketing traffic, if you are in like the high ticket industry, that space, Shaq is the man that we lean to for those type of skills and that type of knowledge and that type of work. So if you're looking for funnels, high ticket offers, online marketing, Shaqir is the man. We scaled this company. We just won, this big award up there from ClickFunnels, multiple 8-figure business last year in 2021, ranked
Hey, Mikey,
2021 ranked.
I just stopped. Is the internet still good? I'm not sure why this one's stopped, but let's just go through this. What's up, everyone? So I am super excited to have Scott here. Scott, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Shaq? Good to be here with you, man. And I'm excited to share some stories that's going to inspire
Absolutely,
some people.
guys. Absolutely. So listen, everyone that you're watching today's video is going to be really powerful because, Scott came to me. Scott, why don't you share your story, what you do? I know you just had a huge $400,000 a month right now. I mean, just like mind blowing. You just told me that you're making more passive income than ever before after working with me. And I don't think it's even been 1 year. So like fire away, man.
Yeah, man. So basically, I met Shaq a year ago, and my business was doing 6 figures a month, like just like maybe
quick
100.
question though. How did
Yeah.
you find me? Because even how you found me is very interesting because you didn't come to one of my live events. You didn't buy a book. You didn't buy none of my 50, 100 products that I have online. I mean, you just kind of.
I connected with you. Basically, I joined a challenge that you joined, and you put a post in that group. And then I followed you from there, and then I just seen all your posts. And instead of buying the lower programs, I just sent you a message to connect with you, and then that was game over from there. So it was like really like interesting. You just popped up on my feed at the right time, and it pulled me in. And man, it's been a journey. Eh? So basically, when I met you, we were doing like 120 grand a month, and it was good to get your advice and perspective and on what I needed to do next, which was to build out the product path, which was the obvious action that we had to take. And man, I just got to work, and honestly, it's that one thing has made the difference. And last month was 425 K. The month before was 413. We're on to do a $1.2 million quarter.
Wow.
All right. So it's insane. Now, obviously, when you make that amount of money, you get into a phase called surplus, and you have more than what you know what to do with. So that was when I was interested in what you were doing with the investing stuff, and you basically kicked me up the ass to get into the crypto world. And man, like I took action on it right away because honestly, you have to got to take action if you want results, right? So I bought the coins you suggested. I bought the software you suggested, the bot software. I also was doing some stock stuff on the side, and between all of that, I've managed to build myself a $17,000 a month passive income this year. That's on average, and it's continuing to grow every single month, man. And even just in this crypto crash, so at this time of me and Shaq are doing that. Yesterday was the time where all the markets went down. This one software that Shaq recommended made me £400 profit that day, even though the coin values were going down. So as everyone else was stressing, I was sitting there and I was still making money, even when the markets were going down. So I just feel secure and super diversified as well. It feels like it takes the fear out of it, man. So yeah, it's been a journey and a half, man, and I super appreciate everything you've pushed me to do, man.
You've taken the action, dude. Like people get the opportunity, but you've taken the action. I remember, when you first joined and you said, okay, by the way, let's give him a big round of applause, you guys. Yeah, is that cool, you guys? So, I mean, how many of you guys would like to make an extra $17,000 a month passive income? Yeah, that's on top. Like this is, I didn't want to, because remember, he's an inner circle mastermind client. So, I wanted to share, when you start making money as well, you need to have different conversations. Yes or no? And let me tell you, like this guy, he loves me. Okay. When you make people a lot of money, are they going to love you? Trust me, they love you. Okay. Right. And he said he wants to make 1.2 million a quarter. I will message him tonight actually for a new testimonial. Right now, he's making over $1.5 million a month. Are you guys getting this? Okay. How many of you would exchange $50,000 to even make $1 million a year? If your hand doesn't go up, you got way more mindset work than I need to go on with, right? Go back to reading books. Okay. Seriously. Because the question is not, oh yeah, I don't have 50K. Because if you had probably hundreds of thousands of dollars, 50 grand, 100 grand, whatever, a good chance you're probably not going to even show up for this call. So it's not even about, oh, I don't have them. It's what do I have to do to get to that stage? We'll do maybe one more. Let me just do this, see if this lady pops up. All right, let me just go this one. Okay, so over here.
Founder of We Build Tribes and 2 times 2 Comma Club Award winner. Now, when I won those 2 Comma Club Awards, I was inundated, Instagram, Facebook, email, by gurus and authorities that because I'd made money, wanted to help me to take it to that next level. I didn't know who to trust until I met Shaqir Hussyin. I had Shaqir, and the first thing that he did was to go through my business to help me to save money. And then he showed me how to make more money up front. As a multiple 7-figure business owner, I was used to making money in my business, but not money in the bank up front. Just this week, Shaqir, through his work, helped me to make $107,000 cash in the bank up front. And that's something that I've never experienced before, all thanks to Shaq. So if you're looking for a mentor to take you from where you're at now to a whole new level, you've hit 7 figures, you want to go higher, hire Shaq. I can't recommend him enough. And I will be staying and working with Shaq for a lifetime.
Right. So let me ask you this, guys. How many of you would love to take what you currently make in a month or even a year? Let's just say a year and compress it down to making it in 1 month. Because here's what you want to write down. Okay. Once you compress your yearly income into a monthly income, you now have just bought yourself 11 months extra. Does that make sense? Yeah, Jenny just got the breakthrough. Give her a big round. It seems like when you clap like that, it means you just got yourself a breakthrough. I'll tell you now, Jenny, between you and me and everyone here, not everyone has the foresight or the wisdom to understand that. Okay, I learned from my mentor, and he's like, did you realize that you could go make $10 million over 10 years? But if you made $10 million in 1 year, you've just bought yourself 9 years of income, 9 years of life, essentially, 9 years of income. Do you guys get that? Why do you think people in Silicon Valley, in the tech startup, they always focus on building a company and selling it for a big payday? Because it allows you to buy time. Who's with me? If you're with me, just type in "I'm with you." Okay, go ahead, write that down. I'm with you. If that's you, go ahead. I want to just quickly go through. Okay. And so, how many of you guys, by the way, have enjoyed this so far by a show of hands? Okay, because right now we're just getting started, guys. We're just getting started. Okay, is that cool with you guys? Okay, so what I wanted to do is, because a lot of people have asked us, hey, how do we work with you? Okay, how many of you guys you've been sitting there, even from day one, you're like, how do I work with Shaqir Hussyin on a deeper level by a show of hands? Okay, so let me ask you this. Do I have your permission to share with you a special invitation for all of you here before we email it out to everyone else? Anyone? Okay, and the number one thing that I'll say when you're seeing this is, don't hold yourself back if you feel like, yo, this is something that I need. Okay, because sometimes people are like, I see Shaqir selling this. No. What you have to realize is the sale is not for me. The sale is for you. You understand? One more sale, you could buy my 100K program, and humbly speaking, okay, basically, all praise to God, it won't change my life. You guys understand that? I'll still go to sleep the same way. I'll still wake up, I'll still eat the same food. I'll still do the same thing that I do. I'll still host another 5-day challenge. Okay. So the sale is not for me. Right now, I have 15 money-making funnels. I'm just sharing with you. Okay. From what I saw, just one of them, I mean, thousands of dollars coming in. Another one, over $10,000. Today, I just shared with you, I'm not even doing just funnels. I'm doing funnels and equity deals where I'm taking a part of someone else's business. Does that make sense? So this offer is for you because it's a potential for you to transform, reinvent yourself, reinvent your business forever. So I want to go through this. And what we have is unlike anything else. Okay. So I want to share this with you so that you're very clear. When you buy other programs, whoever you bought over the last 10 years, okay, a lot of the times they'll come up with, okay, this is the program, buy it, done, here and there. With us, we have something called an ROI guarantee. Okay. What that means is whatever you invest in, depends which program you do. Okay. We will make sure that you're ROI positive in 90 days. Otherwise, we will work with you for free. Are you guys with me? Okay. No one else offers this. And the reason why we do this is because we've seen what's in the marketplace and we wanted to come up with something that no one else does. Okay. And Ismail, because there's about 50% of you that are in the agency, you're just starting out. Ismail said to me, you know what I'll do is I will work with all of the people. Now, the thing is, there's nearly, say, 100 people watching this live. There's over 1,000 people that registered for this 5-day challenge. I will tell you this right now, because Ismail's right in front of me. He cannot help every single person here. Is that fair to say? Okay. So at most, we're going to take 20 people on. I think 3 or 4 people have already started paying and joining before I even made this offer. So obviously there's demand for this. So please pay attention. And if you're ready for it, Ismail, just drop a link. You have to book a call. This is what today, Marilyn said to me. I think Reynolds said, like 3, 4 of my team members, they said, hey, listen, these people aren't qualified. Okay. And don't take it personally, but what that essentially means is we can't help you become one of our success stories. Yes or no? So for example, let's just say Ree's right in front of me. Okay. If Ree hasn't booked a call, or if he has booked a call, but on the call, we realize, you know what? He's not going to do the work. He's not serious. He's making too many excuses. Sorry, Ree. I'm sure you're not like that. Okay. Because you're showing up every day, but you're right in front of me. So I have to choose you. Okay. Then my team will say, hey, you know what? This person is disqualified. It's fine. We don't need the money. Are you guys with me so far? Okay. Now, if we truly believe that you can be one of our success stories, you can be featured in one of my next programs, in one of my books, in my upcoming podcast series and all of this stuff, then we will extend the invitation to you. Okay. So I'm going to break this down for you guys, and I'm going to just go through essentially what you get. Okay. So first of all, the program comes, and you want to write this down. Okay. So you want to write this down. It comes with a 90-day intensive accelerator, which means 3 to 5 times a week, we do live coaching. Okay. Like right now, we're doing 5 times a week live coaching. Okay. Number 2 is, so what does the coaching entail? So remember, I talked about the different components: sales, marketing, copywriting, organic traffic, paid traffic. You guys remember that? Each day, there's 5. There's no one else, from what I know in the industry, they don't do 5 times a week. Okay, so you guys will get 5 times a week live coaching. Okay, so if you miss any of them, don't worry, we record it. You can access it later. Next one is, remember I talked about how you want to have your own high ticket free giveaway. So this way, someone looks at you and says, okay, you know what? I know her, I like her, I trust her. So for example, Jenny, and say, Kiva, say, for example, you don't have a free giveaway. We will help you with that free giveaway. Does that make sense? The next one is what we call the done for you webinar funnel. So what is the done for you webinar funnel? It's essentially a presentation that's crafted to position you as the authority expert that people want to work with. So remember why I said in the beginning, the reason why some of you have resistance to, oh yeah, I don't want to talk to people, is because you're talking to the wrong people. I love talking to people because guess what? When people come to me to talk to me, they go through lots of different qualifiers, yes or no? That's the difference. If you have different qualifiers, aka a funnel that attracts the right people, repels the wrong people, you're gonna love talking to people. I love talking to people. But guess what I do love more? I love talking to the right people. Okay. Next thing is, so the whole webinar funnel comes with the design, the elements, and if I can just pull over this. So for example, Reynold, if you can share with me like Johanna's funnel, please. So for example, this is a funnel. I'm just gonna show you guys. So over here. Okay, that's just scrolling down really fast. But essentially, this is what a funnel looks like. Can you guys see that? Okay, so this is an example, beautifully designed, you know, all the copy, all the design elements get done. This is another guy over here. So he helps people, he runs an agency. How many of you guys want to run an agency? Yeah, so imagine we help you build one of these funnels like this. Can you guys see this? Okay, so this is an agency funnel. We literally break down how people can work with you, all of that good stuff. This is a challenge funnel. Okay, as you can see, this is my one. And then we have a couple of different ones. This is someone in the construction space where he's teaching other people how to basically grow their construction companies. And this is basically positions him as a go-to coach. This one's about foundational living. Okay, so we have a couple of different funnels, whether you're a guy or girl, we have different funnels that suits your needs. Next thing is, what else you get? The done for you email. So as I shared with you, one of the key components is to have follow-up emails, yes or no? So write this down. 95% of people, doesn't matter who you are, they just won't do business with you on the first go. So the fortune comes from the follow-up. Okay? The fortune comes from the follow-up. And what does that mean? If you need to come in, and if you need to have a system that sets up automated emails, write this down, automated emails, okay? An automatic follow-up using our technology, using our CRM. We have our own CRM, customer relationship management software, which we'll talk about in the next few days. We will set up your automated emails for you. You're done for you social media posts, messaging research, customer avatar research, offer creation, design work. How many of you ever feel like, man, I just don't even know what to sell for $1,000, $5,000, $10,000? Like, I just don't know what to sell, by a show of hands. And even if you know what to sell, how many of you guys feel like, I just need some expert help, and then I just need someone to do it all for me, by a show of hands? Okay, so this is going to be perfect for you. Next thing is the done for you tech setup and integration. What we find is almost 95% of our customers, they try to fiddle around with their pages, their funnels, their tech, and then guess what happens? They get overwhelmed. They want to quit. Who's that? Jenny says that's me. Okay, so when I remember when I pay, I told you about that guy that I paid $35,000 to, Dan Sullivan. You guys remember? So one thing that he taught us was this concept called focusing on your unique ability / genius zone. And the truth of the matter is, you're not a genius in every single thing. Does that make sense? You're probably good, really good at 1 to 3 things. So for me, I'm good at maybe speaking. I'm good at coming up with new ideas. And I'm great at coaching people to get unstuck. So if you've been stuck, I can have one conversation with you and I can unlock what's holding you back very quickly. Just because, remember, I have been the guy that has seen behind the scenes of over 1,000 funnels. Are you guys with me so far? So because I've done that, I can also look at you and be like, okay, cool. So those 3 things I'm really good at. Everything else I don't handle. So for example, in my own business, I don't handle my own traffic generation. I don't handle making these videos. I told you, I don't even handle setting up Zoom. Okay, how many of you guys use Zoom here? Okay, well, I don't even handle my own Zoom. I don't even know how to create graphics or use stuff like Canva. All of these images that you see is done by my team. I would have no idea. I don't know who created those images. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? So that's what I'm going to help you do. You focus on 1, 2, 3 things. Let me and my team do everything else. So it's easy for you. Next one is done for you lead generation setup. This is where Ismail is going to come in. And obviously I have been working with Ismail for many years. I've seen him grow from $0 to $100,000 a month and beyond. And he will help you set up your lead generation. So there's one thing which is like, okay, I have a great shop, but if no one's coming to your shop, you ain't making no money. Yes or yes, right? You can have the best product in the world, but if no one's coming to you, you ain't gonna make no money. All right, so we will help you set up your lead generation campaign, your organic and even your paid traffic campaign. Next, over the next 12 months, you're gonna get 1-day intensives, fresh and new live business building intensives, okay? And then some of you who are completely brand new and you want to partner up with us where you can promote, like how many of you would love to do something called affiliate marketing on the side? Yeah. So affiliate marketing is essentially, this is, by the way, how I made my first $1 million. Because at the time I didn't have much confidence. I didn't want to put my face. I mean, I was, you saw some of my pictures. Even Mikey started laughing. Okay. I was, really overweight. I didn't have a lot of confidence. Okay. I just didn't like put myself on camera. And I dropped out of university. I was broke. Didn't have much money. So my first $1 million came from me doing affiliate marketing. Does that make sense? And this was me selling other people's products and services. So how many of you would love to become an affiliate partner of mine, where I give you copy and paste tools and templates, and you can sit behind your computer. You don't have to talk to anyone. All you have to do is just copy and paste and promote my services. How many of you would like to do that? This, by the way, this is one of the fastest ways you can grow to your first 6 figures or more. Now, if you have an extra 200 grand in the bank account, do you think you're going to have a lot more confidence? I think so too. If you have $1 million in the bank account, trust me, you don't really care how you look like. You're going to show up and make more videos. Okay, take it from me. I've been there, done that. So I made my first big money. My first $1 million came from basically affiliate marketing. Okay. My second $1 million came from me running an agency. And then I scaled those things up. So I know how important it is to have multiple streams of income. Okay. And that's what we do with our program. We teach you how to build your own course coaching system. We teach you, if you want, how to build a high profit agency. And the third thing is we teach you the affiliate marketing system. We give you a partnership, a licensing model, so you can basically become a licensee of ours. It's almost like owning a franchise. So I spent 13 years building this machine. You can promote it. How many of you like the idea of that? And then every time I sell on behalf of you, you make a commission. Does that make sense? How much is those commissions? Anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. Are you guys with me? So if you did nothing, but you just sent people to us, and we'll show you how to do this, and you made maybe 3 sales a month, you can make up to $15,000 a month in commissions. How many of you like the idea of that? Okay. So Ismail, what we're doing here is it funnels.com/offer. And okay, so funnels.com, and is that where they put the $1,000 deposit? check funnels.com/offer. So, by the way, how many of you would like to join us on this program by a show of hands? Let's see. Okay, here's what I'm going to ask for you guys to do. Either book a call so you can speak to our team, or if you're someone, you know, like for example, Jenny, it seems like she's just ready to just jump in. What we ask for is that you go to this link, funnels.com/offer, and there's a link to put down $1,000 deposit. Okay, you put down $1,000 deposit, and in the next 24 hours, someone from my team is going to call you, probably tonight, maybe later on tonight, or even tomorrow morning, and they're just going to identify, hey, are we good? Are you good? Will you be a right fit for us? Is that fair to say? Some of you might be asking, well, what's the catch here? This sounds too good to be true. Okay. Well, here's the thing. This program, if you see, we're given 50% off. Okay. And if you need a payment plan, if you need financing options, all of this stuff, please go and we'll figure something out. But the reason why we're doing a very special offer right now is because we want to have 100% success rate for everyone that comes through this program. Okay. And the catch is very simple. I'm going to help you in the next 30 to 90 days. As soon as you start making money and you start growing your business, I want a testimonial from you, either written or video. Is that fair to say? Okay, if I help you get to 10K to 50K a month, how many of you would love to give me a testimonial? Yeah, and that testimonial is going to be hopefully featured in my next book. In my next book, like I shared with you guys, it's called Recession Millionaire. And I plan to basically, I'm spend a lot of time writing this new book. And so I want to basically feature you guys. I want to feature just 20 people from all over the world, share your story in my new book. How many of you would love to be in my new book? All right. And now think about this. Imagine now, for example, Jenny, she has a service. She's a financial advisor. And now she's in my book and there's a link to her website. Do you think she's going to get a lot of traffic? Yeah. By the way, this is how I elevated my status in the marketing field. There was a guy called Mark Anastasi, and he wrote this book called Laptop Millionaire. And in the book, this is a very old book, so some of the stuff doesn't apply anymore. But back then, people used to like use Twitter and stuff like that. And I was making maybe $10,000 or $20,000 a month on Twitter. And he interviewed me, put me in his book, and his book became a New York Times bestseller. What do you think it did for my credibility overnight? People are like, oh my gosh, I read about you. I'm like, where did you read about me? And then before I knew it, those people started becoming prospects and potential clients. Okay. So this is the program. Go ahead, go to funnels.com/offer and put down a deposit of $1,000 so you can speak to someone from our team. If you can afford to pay in full, go ahead, pay in full. Either way, what will happen is this. You go to this link, you book a call. My team will get in touch with you. Ismail or Marilyn, someone will get in touch with you. We'll identify which one is right for you. We have the accelerator program, we have the elite, and then we have the inner circle. Okay, so there's 3 levels. Right now, I had the most expensive program that I have is $120,000, and it's already been taken. So I know there's 1 or 2 of you that you message me and stuff. Please don't ask me about that. You can't buy the $120,000 program right now. Okay. So every single month, I just choose one person. So for May, it's gone. So if you want to work with us, we have obviously other options. You can start from $1,000. Listen, if you're here right now, this is the most irresistible offer that I've made ever. You're going to be part of a private mastermind of just around 100 people. And, you know, these are people that are just, some of them are signing off. Some of them are making over $1 million a month. Does that make sense? So you want to be in that environment. What's more, when you join, okay, once a week, you will have a call with me. It's a group format, but you are going to be able to get direct feedback and coaching from myself. This is how you compress decades into days. Or in my case, you're going to compress a full decade into less than an hour. Does that make sense, Reed? Heath, does that make sense, Hef? Right? So if you've never made 50 grand a month, and me and my team get on the phone with you and we give you the blueprint to making 50 grand a month, well, it's taken me 13 years to craft this. And I'm going to give you no strings attached. Okay, so keep this in mind. Take action on this. Like I said, this is going to be super limited just because me and Ismail, we've decided every single person that comes in, we're going to help them on a one-on-one basis and customize the funnels, the offer, everything. So right now there's say 62 people here live. There's over 1,000, I got the notes, 1,100 people that joined this challenge. Okay, so you want to get in as soon as this is over. We're going to send out the replay. And when we send out the replay, I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'm pretty sure all of the spots are going to be gone. Okay, so what else do we have, Ismail, here? Your first 2 clients guaranteed, or we work for free for you. Okay, so there's 3 things that matter. You want to write this down when you're starting off. 3 things: optimizing your offer, getting high quality leads, and then doing strategy sessions. Okay, we will help you with all of these 3 things. Okay. One of the reasons why I'm doing this is some of you guys will know I won the 3rd award, and I was on ClickFunnels stage winning a $25 million award. Okay. And so right now I'm like, okay, look, another award. My whole wall is filled with awards. Okay. I don't need another award. I think they owe me like another 4 awards or something. I don't need to get another award. What I do need is more success stories. People like you, different cultures, different backgrounds, different stories. Yes or no? Because isn't it much more sexier, if that's a term to use appropriately here, for me to bring some guy called Akbar Sheikh who, you know, he used to live in a closet or something. I mean, he used his credit card, like you heard, came to London. Everyone thought he was crazy. 9 years later, he's made multiple millions. He's helped thousands of people. Does that make sense? Okay. The thing is, you don't need nine years. You don't even need 9 months. All I'm asking for is the next 90 days. Are you guys with me? So it's a 90-day accelerator program designed to compress, you know, your next 12 months, your next 3-year goals in the next 3 months. Okay. And what we're looking for is 10 clients. Okay. I think we're going to cap it at 20, but right now we'll announce it in the next few days. You'll see transparently who's signing up and all of this stuff. Oh, by the way, who's here ready to sign up? Just give me a raise your hand. Okay. Who's like already ready? I'm just like, I'm going to join this program. Winston, Jenny, Devon. Okay, cool. So if you're one of the fast action, all-in type of person, apply below for a call. Also, what will happen is as soon as Ismail qualifies, okay, you're going to be accepted in the program, then you will get the chance before you even come in fully to the program, just to get on the call with me, okay, for about 20 to 30 minutes. And I'll identify, okay, here's the next 3 to 5 moves. Are you guys good with this? Okay, now if I speak to you one-on-one and I tell you, here's your next 3 to 5 moves, how many of you believe making 100 grand or even $1 million is going to be much more easier? Yes or no? Right? And guys, I don't want to brag, but just behind me is $33 million worth of awards. Okay. If you're just trying to make your first 1 million or your first 10 million, I don't know, there's too many other people that made $30 million before they turned 30 years old. Okay. So I can shortcut your learning process faster than anyone else, guaranteed. That's what I can. So I'm looking for my next 10 success stories. Like I said, we have a success ROI guarantee, which means you can't lose. Otherwise, we work with you for free. I've generated over 1,000+ customers, all walks of life, all different backgrounds, so many different countries. It's crazy. And so I wanted to cover that with you guys. And then let me just go through a handful of things here. So one, 97% of people. By the way, Ismail, if you can just drop the link and just let me know who's booked a call so I can just give them a shout out. Is that cool? Just give me the list, yeah? Okay, so this is what people go through when they want to make money online. Okay. It's, the reason why I talk about like weight loss is because that's a journey that I've gone through recently, and I've lost like 28 pounds. Everyone in my family is like, whoa, what just happened to you? So what happened is, it's like when you try to lose weight, what happens is you have to actually, it's more than, oh, eat less and work out. That's what people will tell you. But if you realize, it's also, you have to sleep on time. You have to make sure that your body is in a metabolic state. I think that's what it's called, right? Have you guys heard of that? So intermittent fasting, all of these things help. You also have to drink lots of water, so you're actually hydrated, drink salts. Basically, there's like 5 other things that you don't even know about. And I'm like, what? Okay. It's the same for you with making money on the internet. It's the same thing with launching your business. So what we do is, the old way is basically information overload, trying to do 101 things. The new way is, look, we build a foundation with you, creating the vision, finding a mentor. We already have the entire thing, from front end, upsells, downsells, back end, the members area, the delivery. And what we can do is just clone everything and just pass it on to you. Does that make sense? So I'll give you an example. How many of you here, by a show of hands, who wanted to do basically the agency model where you're selling other people's services? Okay, so for example, Winston, right? Winston, what we've done is we've created 50 done for you ads, done for you funnels that we'll just give to you. Now you can take, by the way, you'll have full license rights. You can take these funnels, and let's just say we've got 3 funnels for dentists. You can go to a dentist and say, hey, dentist, do you want to pay me $1,000? Do you want to pay me $5,000? I'll build you an entire website funnel. And all you do, you change their name, change their logo, boom, you just give it to them. Who did? Okay, Kiva, great job. She just paid a deposit. Give her a big round of applause, you guys. Let's go. Okay, who's next? Go ahead, funnels.com/offer. So here's the thing. What if Winston now goes to his local dentist and he says, hey man, I'll give you a funnel. Usually it's worth $5,000. I'll give it to you for $2,000. How many dentists will jump at the bid to get a done for you funnel for under $2,000? Yeah. Right. An average dentist that does maybe 20 to 30 treatments a month is making over 100 grand a month. Your ability to go and speak to a qualified dentist, it's a no-brainer. You can charge 25. By the way, what's Winston's cost? Zero, because we built the funnels for him. Does that make sense? Okay. Tomorrow, Ismail, let's do a demonstration of the 50 funnels. Okay. Or maybe if you have this, the doc, you can just send it to me. I'll do one. Okay. So then, actually, yeah, let's do that. And then next one is, I went through this. Let me just go through this. These are some of the clients. This client, so many clients. Okay. So these are some of the events that we've hosted, but I wanted to go take this one step further, and I wanted to share with you guys this process. Give me 1 second. Let me go grab this. Okay, making your first 7 figures in the next 12 months or less. Okay, should we do this today or should we carry on for tomorrow? Actually, let's do this tomorrow. Okay, you want me to carry on? How many of you guys want me to carry on? Jenny is such a great student. Okay, so I'll go through this fairly quickly, but this is, if you're starting off or you've made some money in business, in life, this is the bigger picture. So I'm just going to go through this with you guys. Okay, so how to make your first 7 figures. And I'm going to basically walk you through how many steps. I'm going to walk you through these 3 phases. Okay, the first one is what's called a DIY course. Okay, and I made this just like to make it very simple for you guys. Okay. So second phase is what's called the hybrid course. And basically, first one is you're learning the skill. Okay. Second stage is you're teaching the skill. Okay, go through the next slide. Show me the others. Okay. The next phase is you create and optimize the systems. Is this it? Okay. Next one is you're scaling from 100 grand a year to 100 grand a month. Are you with me so far, everyone? The next stage is you're going from 100K a month to $1 million a month. So, Jenny, are you guys all paying attention? Give me double high fives if you're paying attention so I know. Okay. So watch this. First stage is you're learning the skill. Second stage is you're teaching the skill. Third stage is you're leveraging skilled people. Okay. So first stage is, okay, I'm going to learn how this and this and this. It's just like first stage, I'm going to learn how to drive. Second stage, hey, I'm going to teach my loved one how to drive. Even if they're underage, who cares? Let me just teach them how to drive. Let them have some fun. Or is that just me? Okay. All right. That joke didn't go well. But whatever. Okay. Okay. Third thing is, hey, you know what? I just want to sit in the back and I want a driver to drive me around. You're leveraging someone. That's it. Simple as that. Every stage has a different devil. Every stage will require you to do different things. The same thoughts and the same people that got you here will not get you there. So some of you are like, you're comfortable making the kind of money that you're making. That's why you don't take massive action. That's it. It's not me. It's not the guy or girl next to you. It's just you. So unless you come out and you say, okay, you know what? I want something different. Like I want to win these awards. I want to gain the recognition, the respect. I want to be able to travel around the world. I want to be able to give money to charities, right? Like if you made an extra 100 grand a month, you think you're going to be a little bit more generous? Yeah. You think you're going to enjoy a little bit more things if you could make more money? This is what you want to do. All right. So 6 major shifts. How many? 6. Let's go through them real quick. Okay. So first stage is you got to declutter. You got to figure out, hey, you know what? What's working? What's not working? Because these are the typical mistakes that CEOs make. Too many moving parts. The business controls you. Lots of distractions. No love for the business. They've lost their passion. The quality suffers. And this is what Apple, you know, when Steve Jobs wasn't around, Apple piled up lots of products. It grew very bloated. They fired Steve Jobs and they only had 1 month of liquid cash. How many of you ever feel like my back is against the wall? Well, let me tell you this. If Steve Jobs had 1 month of liquid cash, okay, well, Apple had 1 month of liquid cash. They hired Steve back. They cut 80% of the product line, brought back Apple back to its core business. What happened? Steve Jobs came in with one product, iPhone, changed the whole world. So just think to yourself, imagine now you're Apple and you're bloated. You've got all sorts of courses and gurus and people fighting for your attention. But at the end of the day, your bank account is not growing. Does that make sense? You're like, yeah, but I'm looking at everyone. Yeah, but that's not growing your bank account. It's not making you money. So we got to fix that, right? Now you're like, okay, my back is against the wall. I need to hire someone. So I'm not calling myself Steve Jobs by any means, by the way. Okay, but let's just say you want to hire someone that's going to help you bring in fresh new energy. Because a successful business, this is what they do. They focus on the main key metrics. They remove the complexity. They streamline the processes. They deliver premium experience. They start with focusing on a single product. That's what we're going to do with you. We're going to come up with one product journey. I'm going to help you get to 100K to 250K first and foremost. Then we'll expand into other things. Major problems: no scaling option, one-on-one time consumption, too many clients simultaneously, no margin growth, no leverage. Okay, breakthrough. Here's the breakthrough. You got to productize your services. You got to go from trying to do like 10 things at once to just productizing your services. Like, for example, our core program is called the Funnels Accelerator program, the Funnels VIP Accelerator. Everything else builds on that. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to show you behind the scenes of my entire product ladder. And this year, my goal is to get to $20 million. How many of you guys want to see the behind the scenes of that? Okay. Because if you even copy some of it and you go to an extra $2 million or even 200 grand, that's life-changing for most people. If you can do that in your first year, focus on key components, teach others to do it yourself. Okay. Streamline the scaling process, reduce human input. Okay. This is where you have SOPs and systems, and then you want to go from manual to system. So the major problems is there's a lot of things that are time consuming, complex process, low growth potential. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to have a system that's really high optimized. Okay. So this guy, you probably know him, Henry Ford. In 1900, it took 4 months to build a car. Every car was unique and customized. Henry Ford invented the production line. He produced Model Ts in 5 hours. Okay. And the breakthrough was if you systemize and automate the key operations, you identify the recurring tasks and cycles, you systemize customer acquisition, you systemize customer support, you decouple the operation from human time. Does that make sense? So let me ask you this. How many of you would love to do something like a challenge funnel? Don't worry about how. How many of you would like to do one of those funnels? Okay. If I said to you, hey, I'll show you how to turn $10,000 into $50,000, how many of you would just follow what I say? Okay, well, guess what? It's taken me 15 tries to get to this place. And I still think there's ways to improve. Okay. For example, don't use fancy TVs. Okay. Keep it simple with a cheap $50 webcam. Does the job. Delegating control. Major problems. You can't automate all the tasks. You can't do all yourself, and you can't be a one-man band. Right now, the reason why you are not probably making 10, 20, $50,000 a month is because you're a one-man band. Let me explain something to you. Let me share this story. When Ismail first started working with me, and then he left me after 1 year, the next year, he did over $1 million in sales for himself. The number one thing that I identified was he had built a team of 10 people. Was it 10 people? He had built a team of 10 people. Yes or no? So at 22, 23 years old, he had 10 people's time, efforts, brain, energy working. So this, you can't be a one-man band. In the beginning, you have to get help. So you must delegate, you must leverage others. Controlling obsession. If you feel the desire, you have to do everything. You're not going to hire people. You don't want to delegate. You're feeling burned out. This is a big issue. Okay, so the breakthrough was, first of all, you hire a generalist. You delegate the easy tasks first. You set goals and rewards. You teach them business in and out. Okay, going from chaos to control. Major problems is emotion misleads us. Okay, impulsive. It's like, oh, I feel like doing this. No, I'm giving you the data. The data is I have proven funnels that convert. I have the numbers, I have the sites, I have the clone, I have everything that I can give to you. This is data. You guys see the difference? Impulsive decisions lead to chaos. Chaos leads to panic, and escalated panic leads to destruction. So one of the things that you want to do is don't focus on what everyone else is doing, just focus on yourself. And the breakthrough was make rational decision with data. Ditch social media, apps, echo chambers, basically a lot of the things that will hold you back. And the reason why we say this is because when you want to become a pro, listen, the first time is hard. So you want to reduce the thing that's going to give you, make so many mistakes. And this is the breakthrough that I had. Okay. Think who, not how. So ask yourself, who can help you? If you try to think to yourself, oh, how can I do this? Then that's where you're going to get stuck. Does that make sense, you guys? And I'm going to go past this part and I'm just going to share this model, okay? Which is, so should you do A or B? A is, should you do it all alone? Slower, lots of mistakes, wasting money, is painful, or do you want to do it together? Okay, less mistakes, significantly cheaper. It's a lot more fun. Okay. And if you see, I've explained the entire 7-step methodology. Do you guys get that? So when I'm working with you, for example, Jenny, I'll figure out, hey, who's your niche? Let's go through your prospect. Let's nail down your messaging. Let's niche down on one customer and your marketing system. Okay, is your marketing system going to be free? Is it going to be paid? Is it going to be TikTok? Is it going to be Instagram? Then we figure out how do you excite your customers and your leads so they come to you instead of you going to them. Okay, and then leveraging automation and tech, structuring your offers. Okay, so scroll down, and like I shared with you guys, my inner circle programs. So I'm not gonna offer that. This is what I'm offering you guys here. Okay, so VIP funnels done for you, elite, and essentially how this process works is I'm just gonna give you a quick summary. Is we're gonna help you first launch your premium course program swiftly as possible. Okay, helping you price your program $2,000 to $6,000. Even if you're totally brand new and you've never done this, you've never had an online client already, without needing to make 101 YouTube videos, which is endless time on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, forget that, okay? This is where we will help you. The ultimate done for you and done with your high ticket offer, business in a box. That should say 2023. It says 2021, okay? But essentially, here's what you're going to get, okay? So done for you opt-in funnel, done for you webinar funnel. We talked about the webinar funnel, the email funnel. We talked about setting up your lead generation system, okay? Everything that's required for you to get to your first 6 figures and then multiple 6 figures. Does that make sense? And if you don't get there, we'll work with you for free until you do. Is that a fair deal, guys? So you have absolutely nothing to lose, everything to gain. So here's basically your next action steps. Go ahead, go to funnels.com / Ismail just dropped a link. Ismail, you dropped the link to the wrong person. Okay, so I'm gonna share the link with you guys all here. Okay, this is the link. Please go there right now. Okay, and someone's like, okay, can we do affiliate marketing? Yes, affiliate marketing is going to be included. Go ahead right now and go to this link, okay, funnels.com / offer. What will happen is you can watch this video. It basically breaks down a couple of testimonials. You can watch this. I explain how the whole program works. Send me an email recommending. You can read about it here, and then you can go through and pick the option. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a direct link, funnels.com / VIP. Okay, so where are we going? Okay, let me just stop the screen. Okay, this is the link you guys want to go to. Okay, funnels.com / VIP. Okay, when you go to this link, it's a blue page. It talks about how do we going to help you get your first 10 to 100 paying clients guaranteed. Okay, go through this page right now. You can read about it. It basically breaks down every single thing. It tells you what the whole process is. And all we require is just $1,000 deposit right now. If we do not feel, for example, Heath, you go through this, if we feel like, hey, unfortunately, it's not going to be right for you, then we're just going to refund you. Okay? We are only looking for 20 people. Okay? 20 people, 10 people right now, and then 10 people from the replays for 100% success guaranteed. Okay? That's what we're looking for. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to open it up for Q&A. And we're going to wrap it up in the next 5 or 10 minutes. Is that cool with you guys? Was this session valuable for you guys? Yeah, cool. Also, whilst we're here, actually, make sure that you're active in the social media group, in the Facebook group, because I am going to be sharing some extra bonuses for you guys. And Ismail, if you can add this in. Okay, cool. So there's about 11 people in the Facebook group. Okay, Ismail, if you can just check if there's any questions from the Facebook group, let's do that. And then who here has any questions? We'll go with Jenny first. Jenny, unmute yourself.
Hi,
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Great. You're excited. I can tell. You're ready to go.
Very excited.
Tell
Yes.
me. By the way, just for everyone here, like, what's your background and why are you like ready to just go with us?
So I background in financial planning, insurance planning, been working with business owners for over 20 years. And so I have a lot of knowledge, information, data, a lot of stuff, come from a family of entrepreneurs, but everything that you discussed, so much, the one man show or one woman show, we've been putting so many hats on, so we're overwhelmed. So when I listening to you going through the whole day, it just puts simplicity that we don't have to do everything ourselves. And I'm super looking forward to your process and how to engage and actually get to the 100,000 a month that we're all aiming for. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much for sharing and being so transparent with the way that you do your stuff. I've been through a lot of boot camps and a lot of, 3-day here, 4-day here, 5-day, but this has been the most impactful for me. And that really resonates with me. And you have members across the globe, so to speak. So you can resonate with, how our cultural relevancy is really important. And I think that you're making a huge impact in the global market. So thank you so much. Super excited. And I'm waiting for my call with Isabel tomorrow, and we'll see how everything works out. So I'm super excited.
Well, thank you for your energy. One of the things I love about my clients when they come in, and I can tell you're going to be absolute amazing to work with, is like you gotta have the energy. Okay, if you have the energy, if you bring the energy, if you bring the right energy, so then some people, I get it, they don't smile as big as you. It's okay. Some people are introverted and they just like, they're quiet, and it's fine. But you have to have a level of energy. How many of you agree?
Yes.
You have to have the energy to at least say, you know what, I want something new for my life. And I've seen it. Like, look, I've done business in, I started off in my earlier years doing business in Singapore, Malaysia, Hong Kong. They're very different than Americans, And then when I went to America, I was like, oh my gosh, like, wow. And then like in America, I love the fact that everyone can just hype people up and it's energetic. In the UK, people are like this, and so it's different. But what happens is you get to see, hey, you know what? Even if people have different personalities, they come from different cultures, different backgrounds, different countries, as long as they have the energy to say, I want something more. Like, show me a path and I'll follow it. Does that make sense? Show me a path to the next level. And the biggest thing I've seen that holds most people back is where they feel like, no, I can do it myself, right? Because that's when it's that holds people back, right? So
our ego.
Yeah, it's ego. And I didn't want to say it, but it's truly ego. If you say, it's like, imagine I go, imagine this. It's funny because I like to use these health examples these days, right? I imagine I go to the gym and there's a guy right next to me and he's got a 6-pack and he's, lifting weights, and I'm there eating a donut. And then he looks at me and gives me advice. And I just look at him and I say, oh, no, bro, you don't understand. My body needs donuts. He's going to look at me and call me a donut, right? That's the truth. And so I remember so one of my team members came to me and he goes, he loves eating Subway. And I said, why? And he goes, my mom said it's healthy. I said, okay. What are you talking about? Everyone in the world knows Subway is unhealthy. Now, the thing is, his mom is from a different generation, kind of like my mom. So they would look at Subway, sandwich, and salad as healthy. But you and I and everyone, like 95% of people will know Subway is anything but healthy, right? Filled with chemicals and probably pesticides and whatever. So at different stage, you will have to make the decision, hey, who do I need to listen to for a different result? And just think of it like this right now. Like if you just close your eyes and you just think of, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I look like. This is who I operate with every day. This is how much money is in my bank account. And then you think to yourself, okay, I must take full responsibility for the good, the bad, the ugly, because I have the power to create my own reality. And then you ask yourself, what do I have to do? You know, you open your eyes and you see there's opportunity. If you don't take advantage of the opportunity, it's okay. Someone else will, right? Like, you're going to see this, by the way, guys. We want 20 clients. Okay. I've written, what does it say? What does it say on my desktop? 20. What does it say here, you guys? 20. Okay. We are going to get 20 clients from these 1,000 registrations. There's no ifs or buts about it. I am going to select my 20 people. I have a goal to hit. I have worked all month with my team to put this thing together. Remember, I've done this also 15 times, so I know how it works. We are going to select our 20 people. Whether you become one of the 20 or not, that's up to you. Does that make sense? So I'm guessing straight away, Jenny, you're going to be one of them. So let's give her a big round of applause, you guys. You can't hear them, my team. All right, nice one. All right, Jenny, I'll speak to you later. Catch you then. Awesome. Eva, question with Eva. Eva or Eva? Eva. Hi. Okay, next question. Kava. No, Kava, there's also an Eva. So, but does
It's
Kava
me.
want to go?
I'm Eva.
Eva,
I'm
how are you?
here. Hi,
Okay, how are you, Eva?
I'm good. How are you?
Where are you from? Your background is so lovely.
Oh, well, that is a picture from the venue that we owned for about 13 years.
Wow.
And
Where
it
is
was
the
a
venue?
barn. It was a barn in Texas. I'm about 2 hours east of Dallas. And we converted our barn. We had a Arabian horse farm, and once we finished with horses, we took the barn and transformed it into a venue. And
Okay, I think we should stop the video right now because my wife is going to come up any minute because that's her dream to have Arabian horses in Dallas, Texas. And
oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you're going to be friends with her. That's for sure. She
My
actually just texted
husband-
me.
My husband, he is the horse man, horse whisperer, and he could really talk to her. He loves to talk about that, even though we don't have them anymore. We donated the last 3 out of 33 Arabian horses. We donated the last 3 when we shut down to a camp for young people. It's called Pine Cove Camp, and they have horseback riding there and stuff. So they took our last 3, our pets.
Okay. Wow. I'm glad that you're here. I appreciate you. Is your husband here or is it just yourself?
No, it's just me in the Zoom call. He works away from home during the week, so he's home on the weekends. And yeah, so he's wanting to retire though. He's been working for a long time. We're not young chicks. We're in our later years, but I have always dreamed of big things. I'm a
Nice.
big thing.
Well, I appreciate you being here. And did you have a question here?
Yes. Okay. Fine tuning your niche. Okay. I've been in several different fields over the years, but I've always dreamed and been entrepreneur at heart. Okay. And now that I'm the age that I am, I feel like I wish I had another 30 to 40 years to do what I know I can do. I've always known it in my heart, but to fine tune what God has gifted me with, and I know He's called me for this. I know He has. To fine tune it is my first hurdle that I know I can get over. I just need the little push, the little help to fine tune it. And right now I'm concentrating on 2 things. I am working with ERC together, and I've already gotten 7 companies on board in less than 3 weeks. So that's working on the side. And then I have my creative brain that will never stop. I have a creation crafting gift business on the side. And that is some therapy for me to work through stress and things like that. And I create things. And sell them. And I'd love to upscale that and then also concentrate on helping other people find their creative abilities and lead them down the path, that journey that you take to find your happy spot with that.
Nice.
I'm all over the place.
Now I got it. And well, it seems like you're a massive action taker. What I'll say is, Eva, definitely book a call with maybe Ismail can give you a link or something, and then we'll just figure out, because you already have a couple of things going. We'll see, hey, how can we help you if we can, and if we can't, we'll be very transparent and we'll just recommend to someone that can help you. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, my call is already booked.
Okay, awesome. Well, great job. I love it. And thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. I loved your seminar this week. It was great.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow. God bless.
Okay.
Okay. Who is next? Sorry, I took a. Can you? Okay, yeah, you do that part, please. Royd Kim, what's up? Devon James. Okay, Royd, what's up?
I didn't have a question, but yeah, thanks for your great experience and your stories today. That was very good. I like the part of where you're going over the what yeah, it was all good.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Guys,
Yeah.
who has a question, let me know. Did Kava want to jump on? Devon, what's up, Devon?
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
Shaq?
And where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Melbourne, Florida. So
Okay, nice. Nice.
Orlando is close, if that gives you any parameters, since you've been there before.
Yes, I've been to Orlando and I've been to Dallas, Texas as well, where Ava's from. I like
Okay.
that place. Okay,
Cool,
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, I just saw you also pay down a deposit to join us. You know, what do you do? What made you join our program? Fire away.
Well, I've joined the MM community, and for the longest time, I've been resisting, the online space, because I've been in the financial space for so long. So I've been a CFO, I've been accounting and taxes specialist. And after we've opened our own firm, we've found clients coming in from China now wanting to establish their American business presence here. And we found out that was a big ticket item for us. So, but those were relationships that we've built out of Cyprus and Spain. And that was through LinkedIn and everything else like that. So we kind of sort of want to accelerate our growth a little bit more, to whereby we're now getting into funnels, we're now getting into email automations. And the guys over at MM, they're doing a great job, hands down, and we've just gotten to the level that, with your program, we can kind of sort of tweak some of the things that we're doing to escalate our growth. And our breakthrough this week with your program was that the systematic process in terms of the emails, the 7 touches to sales to completion. And we feel that we have high ticket items that we can bundle. And we also want to sell for you, of course, too. And to just increase the bundle of, all right, you're coming here to America, that's one bundle. The other bundle is, if you're in America and you still want to become wealthy, there are a couple of choices in terms of raising capital that we do through Reg A, B, and C with the SEC exempt rules. And there again, I partnered with someone else for that in the space, and we can filter them down that path. We also do the SBA 7A funding program, which I partnered with someone else as well too. And there again, we can walk them down that path with a certified SBA agent to do. It's the only program in the world that gives you working capital, inventory, building, and land improvements.
I like it.
And we can show you how to get your down payment back out of that deal. So they require 10% down. And if you don't have the money, I'll lend you the money as long as the deal's under $1 million. We'll come up with the down payment for you for a percentage.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I have also multiple clients in the credit space and funding space. They actually, brother Gabriel, he's from Las Vegas, drives the Rolls Royce. He's killing it in the credit space game. Like his calendars and his booked calls is just so much nonstop. He's absolutely killing it. So yeah, I'm excited for you.
Okay. Well, that's I'm excited for you too, partner, because now I will be your partner.
Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Thank you.
Let's make it happen. I appreciate it, man. Okay, who else do we have, Ismail? Okay, so do we have any? Okay, Kava DA, she's booked in a call. Okay, do we have any questions here? Okay, now, if not, we're gonna wrap it up, you guys. And I'm gonna stop the recording here. And we'll stop the live streaming here. Can you stop the live streaming? So since you guys are here, I do want to, and this is for people that